Testing, testing. Y'all hear me fine? Hello, hello. Check 1, 2. What we saying? Perfect. Squad, welcome in Less Than 2 crew. Hope you are doing well. Welcome once again to another Friday, a Pooya Friday, a.k.a. the pad, a.k.a. the night where we get to talk about all the things just you and me and you and me, Q&A, AMA, Big Brother 27, food, movies, TV, whatever you want to talk about. We do it here. That's right. New location, same person. You know what I mean? And also, it's not really a new location. It's just directly downstairs to where I usually am. Like 5 feet below, I think. Something like that. But yeah, welcome in. Welcome in. Low volume? Is it really? Or do you need the music lowered? The beard is so much shining in this room because there's more lighting in this room. But yeah, that's what it is. I'm going to lower the music. I feel like that's going to be a contributing factor here. Let's do that. All right. It's low when you're not as close to the mic. Hold on. All right. Is it louder now? I feel like it's louder now. Just someone remind me I have to fix this before the PAL next week. Yeah. Okay. All I had to do was adjust the microphone knob, so we're good. But yeah, welcome in everybody. Is this Emirates music? It is absolutely not. But yeah, let me say hello to the early chatters. Here, McKenna, Soja, welcome in. Khalida, hope you're doing well. D3 in the building. We got Sal's here. Bots, Jenna Lee, Patty, welcome in. Canna Biscuits, hope you're doing well. Kansas, welcome. Canna Biscuits, Kimani Badger, hello. Ichiyami, Devi, Genrads, Daisy in the building. Rob with 2 B's. Russ, Lori, C Blue, Soja, Repeat Respawning, welcome in. Mikey, Lori twice again, I guess. I guess I'm a little disoriented. When did we get a new start screen? Today. I worked on that today. I've been inspired once again, chat. And recently, when I've been inspired, the move is to just do it. The move is to just go for it. And so I went for it. I worked on it. And I kind of revamped a little bit. Watch this. So if we go back. So this is me in the starting screen. See right there? That's me. And then it transitions here into this. Oh, and Liana's hiding behind me. What?
I was gonna pop up, but you did it when you were on the other screen.
Yeah, I caught you.
But also, I didn't find the right. Here. Okay. I'm ready.
What are you ready for? What am I doing?
Just be normal.
All right. All right. So then, yeah. So then this screen.
Ah! Oh, that's so mean.
But yeah. So then we've got this screen with the browser. So now my browser is going to be in the middle here. We got that. We got this one for when we're playing games. So, boom. Look at me. Look at me doing stuff. But yeah. I hope people are loving Ava again, even if only for the fact that she kicked people out of the HOH room. Kind of baller. Thank you, Stephanie. Let me catch up with y'all here. Different setup. A little bit. Yeah, I was told I was too loud when we played Peak the other night, and I may have interrupted some sleep. So for tonight, we're down here. Then we're back to upstairs for Goose Goose. All right, so audio's good now. Love it. Happy about that. Looking at your Pooya being proud of President Pooya. Yes. Listen, I felt really good about the progress we made with the GTA RP stuff. And then today, I really had this moment after the update where I was like, I've been thinking about switching up my stream setup for a little bit. Let me just go ahead and do that. So that was great inspiration to just go ahead and get that done. And that's how we landed here. I spent a good 2 hours today moving over all of my stream stuff and then also making the starting soon canvas and graphic to use. So yeah, I will say I currently have not read any of the subscriptions out because I didn't see them. So let me keep an eye on that. I have to do that through this different page right now. Hold up. There we go. All right. Okay. Botswats, thank you so much for the 7 months here. Sorry, 47 months here. Appreciate you. Reality TV Hangover with the 56 says 56, almost as many FF drafts I will have this season. Thank you, Reality TV. AZ with the 10 gifted. Oh my God. Yeah, there we go. I missed that. AZ, thank you so much for the 10 gifted. They will bring 10 new people into the community. I do appreciate you. Thank you so much. If you're brand new and you got the emotes now, throw the emotes into the chat. All right. 1 second. I'm gonna sit back here. I need to do a little adjustment. There we go. Liana spotted. Yep, that's loud. What was loud? Just followed. Thank you, Magdilly. Appreciate it. Welcome in. Hopping in because I've had a few cocktails and I'm still awake. Sounds good, Jess. Let us entertain you. I was wondering if that was you in the living fight piece on the starting screen. It was me. Someone's behind me. Well, I found out later, didn't I? So this might not be the best place to ask, and I've only listened to the Big Brother pods, not on the show, but I've been hyperfixated on the Mastermind mask. It's clearly using the Guy Fawkes mask. A mask that references anarchy and anti-fascist and anti-capitalism. Do you think they purposefully subverted the imagery with a character that represents Big Brother? I almost asked on the Patreon Q&A, but it was full and plenty of people with more relevant questions. And Hero, I also see the comparison that you're drawing. I just cannot give Big Brother the credit that that's something they actively did. I don't trust them like that. I don't think they were like, ooh, this is a good reference. They're like, oh, this looks kind of creepy, and we can put a key on the head. Oh, it's a keyhole like the Big Brother key. Let's do that. Like, that's more the vibe I get than this, you know? New Year Pooya will not owe money to mods. Hell nah. Peak was great this week. Thank you, Cal. I had a lot of fun. We got so close to finishing it, which we've already talked about it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it for Tuesday. We're coming back with it. Who's nominated? Keanu, Zach, and Vince. So Jerry O'Connell shouted out Taryn's book. Did he actually? Did I miss this? I watched the fucking thingy. The show. I watched the Unlocked. So I missed it? Was it at the beginning? Because I got in about 10 minutes late. It's very similar to the mask from the show Money Heist. Interesting. What's your method of watching feeds? Do you record each screen? I always wonder how you and Taryn do it. Magdalia, so what I do is I have three monitors, but I use two of them for... Oh, hi, Clamo. Bye, Clamo. I use two of them for watching. So what I do is I usually watch on quad. That's the way to do it. So I'll have quad cam open. But on the other monitor, I'll have the feeds open again. But that way I'm like, okay, things are interesting in like cam 1 and 2. I'll pick 1 or 2 and I'll listen to that exclusively if I need to. But now that BB Viewer is back, I just use BB Viewer. So just keep quad cam open, pan over left or right for the audio, and your life is good. I also had a black fitted cap on tonight, getting my Baja Blast at the good old TB, except my fitted has the Raiders logo. Gotcha, Mikey. The mastermind is going to turn out to be the intern. I'm 1,000% sure on this. Happy Friday. Happy Pad Mythical Jade. Welcome in. I did catch the Unlocked episode this week. Yes. On Twitter, he did. Oh, cool. Okay. That's sick. Finally, Big Brother 27 is being played. It started, chat. Amy, welcome and hello. I don't watch Unblocked because my neighbor had us watching the Las Culturistas Awards. Highly recommend 10 out of 10 comedy. Is this food related? Oh, it's culture related, not food. Not food is not the only culture, Pooya. Come on now. Also, the fact that no active all girls alliance, yet the men are going home one by one. Yep. Thank goodness BB Viewer is back. I just need him to do an update to stop the music on the back screen. I laughed when Taylor apologized for the Riley segment in chat BCC. Listen. Taylor's got to make... Taylor's there. Taylor's got to do the job that she's given. I'm sure she doesn't want to talk about Riley more than any of us do, you know? Aren't you about preseason about how you let your first game end in a tie? Come on now. I have no idea what you're talking about, Mikey. I loved Gabby's acceptance speech on the Culture Awards. My favorite culture is food. I mean, food is a great part of culture. Can we agree to this, chat? Can we agree? Food is good. Who says no to food? Food's a good time. This setup is wild. The camera's there. You're here. So I can't just like look there. And if I put this laptop there, it's going to be too far for me to read the chat anyway. So I hope this is fine and it's not too distracting to you, chat. You're good. Thank you. You know what I do need to do, though? Is let me go ahead and open up the form so that those of you who would like to send in questions anonymously are covered. I do have my phone on me today, so because I'm using one monitor, I don't have to like close anything, constantly tab out, tab in to check up on the questions. I can do them from my phone. And I believe I've set it up where my music is not going to be on the VOD, so we should be safe, chat. All right, form is now open. Exclamation advice if you would like to submit a question anonymously. If you're brand new, you don't know what that means is every Friday night for the last almost 5 years now, I have done what you could call a Q&A, you could call an AMA, you can call a conversation between me and the lovely community. We talk about anything and everything. Big Brother season, it gets to be Big Brother heavy, but also we talk about the aforementioned food, movies, TV, books. You want advice, I got you. You want bad advice, I got you. You want good advice, I got you. You know, it's a little bit of everything. And also, most importantly, I read everything in the chat, so we go by smoothly and quickly. Not in your office? No, I've been relegated. I've been relegated for the night, chat. The conversation Taryn had with Jerry under the thank you is amazing. Hold on. Let me look at this tweet. I am not signed into Twitter on this laptop, so I got to look at it here. What's his handle? The Jerry OC? No, Jerry OC? What is it? Were you keeping up with live feeds after the update today or no? How did everyone handle their noms? Surprisingly enough, the one that handled it the worst was Zach. He did not handle it well. Terabyte, thank you for the 23rd month here. Appreciate you. Happy Friday to you. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for supporting the stream. I think Zach, mostly because he didn't expect to be put up. They knew Vince was going up. He did not expect him to go up, and he definitely reacted accordingly. Oh, hey, Pearl. Pearl's going upstairs. Going to Terran's and get it from there. That's a good shout. It's not just a tweet, it's a whole conversation. Oh, my God. All right, Terran. All right, so Terran. Okay, so he said, while he will hate my shirt, I get most all of my BB27 takes from Terran, from info Terran has gathered. His podcast is simply the best. Go buy his book, TerranArmstrong.com, hashtag Team Keanu. I do love that. Simply because he's crediting Terran with everything and then also saying Keanu's number one. So, Terran, all I'm saying is you got to bump up that Keanu number this week on the Sock Watch, my friend. And then Terran said, where do I get a Team Jerry shirt? Terran doing his best Vince here. You know, he knows what he's doing, playing the social game. But then what? You said there's a conversation underneath this? So, Terran replied, I literally watch Sliders every day growing up, so hopefully I can return the favor just a little with the daily updates. And then Jerry said, you're a legend. Sorry about my takes. Terran said, listen, we can all agree to be Team Keanu as long as you don't subject us to any more Riley and Catherine making out. All right, Terran, I'm with you there. I'm with you there. Oh, and they took the conversation to DMs because there's nothing else left, chat. There's nothing else left. All right. Was a fallout nomination? Was not able to watch if there was any fallout. Zach's upset. Do you think Vince will be mad at Zach for not telling him about the power and letting him spiral over all the scenarios? I don't know. Maybe. Zach's reaction made him being nominated extremely worthwhile. Absolutely agreed. 100%. Who's Taryn? Yeah, Jerry O'Connell knows who Taryn is. Did the Pooya merch store always have the sweatshirts and tank tops? Yeah, this has always been in stock, chat. This Among Us, Pooya X Among Us unofficial collab, not affiliated. This has always been in the merch store. Adrian might know who Taryn is, but Jerry O'Connell. Exactly. Need to order more merch? Hey, listen. The website's still up. I still have 2 merch stores, though. That's one other thing I should do is I was supposed to move all my merch over to Fourth Wall, but I haven't done that yet. So Fourth Wall has our, like, less than 2-year collection that was supposed to be limited that's still there. Oh, my God. Hey, girls. Clam. Leave your sister alone. Stop harassing her. Thank you. Sorry, chat. Where were we? This is the new target this week. Vince is the new target. Yes. Vince is the target. Jerry knows who you are too now. That is not true. That is not canon. He did not at me. The boss, thank you for the 2nd month here. Appreciate you. I'm happy you enjoyed your 1st month here to come back for month number 2. That does mean a lot. And I'm happy I was able to deliver. So I hope you enjoy your stay for another month here. Cat Dad, I couldn't help myself. I have to make sure they're okay. Take a shot every time you hear, like, I don't know. Who's the one? You know what, Gringo Poppy? You might have to shatter the wall for me. Who's the one who keeps saying that? She said Pearl can catch these clams. Oh, my God. Sunshine, thank you for the prime, so appreciate you. I know you get one of these. I do appreciate you using it on me. Thank you so much. I can hear cat callers, so... I mean, if he watches live, he definitely knows who you are. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Zach is big mad about the nom, bitching to everyone about it. He knows he is not going home with the power in his pocket, just doesn't want to lose the 10K. I think his approach this afternoon may tick off some house guests when they find out about the power. Yeah, bruh, you're not going anywhere. If there was ever a time to, like, take things a little more humbly and, like, show that you can be a calm, cool, collected person, it's now. Because one of 2 things happens when you throw a tantrum on the block. One is what you're hoping for if you're Zach, which is people don't want to deal with his ass, so they're not going to nominate him because they don't want to be the one getting all this. But the more likely one is 2, which is, I don't like this. We need to get rid of him. And also, all of that for him just to not go anywhere, too, is very funny to me. That just reminded me of my boyfriend's 2 cats. Daisy the kitten is always antagonizing her older brother, Sully. Clam's the older one and is mean. Oh, Vince is the I don't know one? That makes sense. Or Lauren, also could make sense. I could see it both ways. D. Murray says, the kitties. Yeah, they're not. You saw Clam earlier. She jumped over here. I don't think you're going to see Pearl, though. Sad to say. Have I seen Jerry in Stand By Me? The only Jerry O'Connell movie I've seen is Kangaroo Jack. And then I've also seen him make appearances in some sitcoms I've watched. Respectfully. That wasn't like, I'm not trying to be mean or anything. But no, a lot of movies. Stand By Me I never saw. I never saw Jerry Maguire. He's in Jerry Maguire, right? Or is he, I think so. I feel like this new generation needs a Dr. Will type winner, a charismatic, bold-faced liar who's loud and proud about it in the diary room so we can stop with the honest game BS. Yeah, because the thing is, let's see. So Chelsea definitely touted herself as an honest player. Jag, was he all like, I'm honest? Did he ride that out? I'm not sure. It's very forgettable to me. I'm trying to think who's like the last like unapologetically arrogant / little villainy, but like not like a dickhead. Not like Mickey. Was it Josh? Was he the villain? Was he the last villain? Is he technically even a villain? How much do you like Chat BCC? D. Murray, I don't mind it. It's fun. I do enjoy throwing messages in there. I think it's been very fun to see insight on the alumni because I'm somebody who, I'll be very honest, especially this is my first year with Blue Sky, but when I was on Twitter, I followed like 500 accounts, so it's not like I would see all the alumni's thoughts. I would frequently miss them between watching the episode and like tweeting myself. So it's been very fun to get to read their takes and their thoughts throughout the season, like in one dedicated spot. So I very much enjoyed that. Plus, also we had that big drama early in the season. What can go wrong with that, you know? Does Zach's reaction make him? Oh, hi, Clam. What was it? They take the knives away. The houseguests aren't using them, right? I think so. That's about how messy Mickey has been today. Extremely. I don't know why you would tell people, I don't know which side I'm going to roll with. What the side that has power right now, dummy. Why would you even... Ugh, God. Nah. Zach's reaction make him more likely to go up more often or less. It depends on the HOH. Some HOHs might not want to do that, but some absolutely will. I think it's going to be more yes than no right now. I'm not going to lie to you. So I'm going to pull y'all a little closer to me. How about that? How about that, chat? Let's do that. Sounds like a Jerry O'Connell movie fest and Discord is necessary. What, we watch, 2 movies? I've probably seen Stand By Me 12 times. Damn. Do you just call Mickey a dickhead? Did I call her a dickhead? I don't think I did. It's busy chat BCC, but can be fun. It's true. I mean, it's just, we went from having one, it was like literally one platform for the most part to keep up with. Now we have Twitter. Well, some people may not look at all of them, but out there available with commentary is Twitter, Blue Sky, Reddit, Discord. That's the big 4. Chat BCC is also one there. And then I always said Reddit. That's most of them in my books, but then I know obviously like there's if you're an RTA patron, there's a patron group also, so that's 6. Can I just bring Brittany Haynes back? Last night's recap was one of the best I've seen. It was amazing. It was so good. I was glued to my seat watching it. So I definitely recommend, if you haven't checked it out, please do so. I call Jackson Mickey a dickhead. Yep, that's the one. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you for saving me. I missed most of the last 3 minutes because chihuahuas are chihuahuing. Oh no, I'm sorry, Jess. Will production put in a protocol of house kids eat a lot of time in between the hobby? Honestly, maybe, because that was unprecedented. I was very surprised they didn't get, like, I think they didn't know how to react to it because they would have to have put them on blast, which I don't think they wanted to do, but Brittany needs to make an appearance on the slop. I 100% agree. If you like cats, you should watch the recap on YouTube because Brittany's cat was basically there the whole time. I'm very jealous that her cat would just sit there and be pet. That's the dream. That's what you hope you can get. I could only wish my cat would give me the same treatment. I hate this song. I want Jimmy on a podcast, like a recap or something. I would co-sign a Jimmy appearance. I think of the 4 evictees, Jimmy's my the number 1 get right now. It was too funny that she was just taking pics of her cat over and over again. I just love the energy she gives. It's like a combination of shady, but also she knows her shit. So it's very fun. I did enjoy her ranting quite a bit. All right, chat. We have 2 questions in the form currently. How do you handle imposter syndrome? This is if you don't know me, you couldn't ask a better person this question because I deal with it often. At least once or twice a year, I have a bout of it. You got to remind yourself of your own abilities. No one's going to big you up more than you're going to have to big you up. And if you truly think about what you're achieving, what you're doing, you understand that you are worthy of what you're getting. You are reliable. You are you deserve what you've carved for yourself. So for me, sometimes I'll be in a position where I'm like, I really lucked into where I am. I lucked into, this job, or I'm like, yeah, I it was the right place, right time, or like, oh, Among Us really brought me here, or like I'm lucky I started streaming around then. But then I remind myself of like luck definitely plays a factor, make no mistake, but also you've been consistent. You have two series that you've been running on a weekly basis for 5 years, practically nonstop. You've tried new stuff. You've gotten safe sometimes, but you've still like gone above and beyond to like keep consistent and not fall behind. So you got to remind yourself. You got to remind yourself constantly of things like that when you're feeling that imposter syndrome hit. Couldn't tell what I could hear. So it did seem like Jimmy recognized Rob and Taryn. No, which that isn't a prerequisite to come on the show, to be clear. But I think in contrast to Adrian, I guess it looks better. But watched The Lounge with my wife, and she was ranting me a few days ago in the same way you were ranting on for specificity with questions. I love that. I love that so much. Are you excited for the De Gea return tomorrow morning? I mean, I'll take it, of course. Of course, of course, of course. What's this setup? Sam, welcome in. This is the we have guests visiting, and I was told I was loud on Tuesday, so I volunteered to do the stream from down here because this is my latest stream of the week, and so my voice will not carry all the way upstairs if I'm down here speaking in a regular tone than it would me speaking in a regular tone in the room next to the room of guests. You know what I mean? So yeah. You said I just read that. I wrecked my car on accident. Oh my God, Mikey, are you okay? Hardworking, grit, plus good energy, always sunshine. Sinan, welcome in. Hello, hope you're doing well. Speaking of the palace and the audio mini AMA today, and your voice at the beginning, I thought I was on the wrong podcast. Yeah, someone said I'm yelly. I was being loud on the pod, so I was like, let me overcorrect for a little bit. But they're not wrong. Sometimes my voice does get louder on the pod, and I have to figure out a way to either regulate myself or I need to make Liana louder and then make us both lower. You know what I mean? Sugar Angel Stuff Thing with a prime sub. Appreciate you. Welcome back from month number 53. Clamo. Clam. Come here. Clam, come here. You're making me look bad in front of my peeps. Clam, no. Forget you, Clam. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, Sugar Angel Stuff Thing with a prime sub. Are we sure that Adrian wasn't joking when they didn't know Taryn? I think it was just a lot happening in the moment. His mind had a lot of other things on it, so he wasn't thinking about Taryn. I think that's what it was. Like we said on the update today, it's a great meme. So we'll use the meme, but we'll let him breathe, you know? It wasn't a hard hit, but enough to mess up. Oh my God, Mikey. What's your ideal snack situation for a long night of feeds? So I've been trying to snack differently than what I usually would do. So my usual would be like a bag of salt and vinegar chips would be a great call. And then my Red Bull or soda, then we're good to go. But I'm trying to indulge in a little more health. Not really health, but like a little smart. I'm going to try to snack smarter later in the night if I'm going to snack at all. So now it's seaweed snacks. I fuck with seaweed snacks heavy. And beef jerky has been the other one that's been added in. Although sometimes the beef jerky is just way too chewy for me to want to bother. It's like it's 2 a.m. I'm not trying to fucking chew. And the Red Bull. I need my Red Bull. That's almost like required fuel for the update at this point. So claims I can do what I want. Facts. I've had too much to drink, which is honestly not that much, but I have way too many important comments I'm not typing out. And Jess, we appreciate your discretion. Did you end up drinking that Red Bull last night? I did. Once I saw Ava had won, like once I saw Hamster Watch's tweet, I quietly cracked it open and started drinking it. It was half because I was like, okay, I'm going to want to check out what the feeds are. And also I was starting to get a little sleepy. Yeah, like the whole thing. So full disclosure, I've been seeing a nutritionist for the last like couple months, and It's mostly because I find that I have horrible eating habits, and by that I don't mean I eat bad things for me. I mean that I don't have a routine. It's a lot of like random and like my schedule is all fucked. So like it was just kind of like I needed to like recalibrate. So that's what we've been doing. So learning a little bit about some stuff and like trying new stuff has been very good, and I've been very happy with that. I'm so addicted to seaweed snacks. It's a problem. It's so good. I need to go buy more from Costco this week. All snacks have no place with entertaining feeds. All the jerky gets a pass. What's your choice, Boz? What's your choice? Chat, you tell me. What's your choice for a good feeds night, snack-wise? Rye Guy, welcome up and thank you for the 38th months. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Welcome back in to the Less Than Two crew, my friend. Late night loaded taco Doritos. Never had that, but would do it. Teriyaki jerky especially is bad at being that nasty chewy. Yeah, the one I got is like a no sugar one, and it was just like it was a lot. Ava is goat. Which type of goat, Lamb? You might have to specify. There's literally opposite ends of the spectrum with the definition. The back says late night because it has to be late night to eat them. It's the law. Gotcha. Big Brother brings out the worst in snacking for me. Chips, Chex Mex. It's a good time, Calabos. It's a good time. Hey, Natalie, happy Friday to you. Welcome in. Welcome in. For context, I drink a few times a year, so 3 cocktails has me very giggly. Same. I don't drink often. I think I can count on... I don't proceed... I think the last like 5-6 years, I think every year I've not gone beyond the number of fingers on my hands, how many times I've drank. Like days. So it has the same impact on me. Same impact on me. Do you think that production is purposely omitting entertaining scenes and fights from the episode so that they have entertaining content to show on the episodes / unlocked? I think there's validity to that. I really do, because they are releasing little bits on like unlocked for us to look at. Like, is the best fight we've gotten this season that first week with Zay and Rachel? I think so, right? But also, it's like the problem with Unlocked is that Unlocked is like they try and squeeze in 12 segments with 12 different titles, which means that no clip is going to get breathing room like that. So even if they prevent us from watching them on the feed so they can put it on the show, there's not enough time on Unlocked to put them on the show. But Cancun in 3 weeks, have fun. I feel my brain about having this kind of the worst when you have no appetite but you know you need to eat. Well, it's the other way around for me. Is like I'll be busy and I'll forget to eat, and then I'm like, oh shit, I need to eat. And I'm like, oh shit, I am hungry. But then I'll have like one big meal, and that's not like the way to go. We going to the lake, McKenna? Have fun. Got a bag of white cheddar popcorn on my side. Love that. Charcuterie stuff. Love that also. PB and Ritz. Okay. I could fuck up some PB and Ritz. I got leftover prime rib waiting for me. Damn, boss. I feel like you need a sweet snack and a salty snack with the perfect setup. If I was to get a sweet snack, the thing is, for me, sweet snack varies. Like I get more like with savory. I can have a bunch of different snacks. I'm fine. But with sweet, it's like, no, today I need ice cream. Like nothing else is going to replace ice cream for me right now. So stuff like that'll happen for me with some sweet snacks. Girl dinner, basically. Flamin' hot limon chicharron. Oh, why? Okay. Maybe another person's charcuterie. Even tastier. Relegated to the couch today? Exactly, papaya. No, I volunteered to be on the couch because I know I'm going to be loud. So I was like, let me be loud in a setup where no one else is impacted by it. I'm like slowly bringing the laptop closer to me because I want to lean back. So the aesthetics lost a little bit, but man, we're still doing good, right? Has anyone else here tried late night loaded taco Doritos? Oh, gotcha, McKenna. I've discovered the beauty of graham crackers with a tiny bit of peanut butter and Nutella. I don't on principle, I don't keep Nutella in the house. I haven't since I was 22, because when I keep Nutella in the house, and I've tried a bunch of times, when I keep Nutella in the house, it is in the house for about 24 hours. And that might sound hyperbolic. It is, because it can be like 3 days maximum. It's never making it out of the week. And it's not good. Like, I love Nutella, an unhealthy amount. My snack is cereal. I love cereal. Mag, do you drink it? Do you have it with milk or just like as is? How did you meet Liana? We met through the podcast, actually. We both applied to be at the time called Live Feed correspondent, which is basically a Big Brother podcaster on RHAP. Because at the time they had Taryn, Alex, Brent were like the three that were not Rob, and Jordan Parhar. So then they put out a search. 10 people were selected to be part of this competition called So You Think You Can Podcast. I was one of them. Leon was one of them. Aman was one of them. Melissa was one of them. Melissa won. The rest of us lost. And yeah, that's how we met. That's how we started talking. And here we are now. BB doesn't make me snacky, but when I was watching old season of Survivor, I would literally make rice to eat while watching. Rice is a wild choice to want to have with Survivor on. That was favorite Ben and Jerry's flavor. I had one about a month ago, Tara, that I really liked. It was like chocolatey and peanut buttery. I don't remember what it was called, though. Learned about Dubai chocolate on News Eve. Is that something you had as a kid? No, that's a new fad that's happening, Cool Rider. It's like a pistachio chocolate. I get low blood sugar when I don't eat regularly, get shaky, sweaty, and then I binge because I'm so scared of fainting, so I try to be good and hit food by certain times. Gotcha. Congrats to your brother. Who are you talking to, Jez? Eating rice during Survivor is like eating slop during Big Brother. Too funny. I feel like slop's a little bit different. Oh, I see. Yes. To McKenna. Gotcha. I caught up. So basically, finally, I heard you last week and we do it. So we think... So our leading theory is that my father-in-law definitely put on a brave face and didn't admit that I was too loud on Friday. He seemed to make it seem like it was fine. But then after that, I didn't have a stream while he was here. But then on Tuesday, when my mother-in-law had come in, that was the night we were playing Peak. And if you've watched me play Peak, it's a loud affair. We're like yelling, screaming. So word got back to me that I was a little too loud and I disrupted sleep. So then the question was about this stream. And I was like, well, how about I go downstairs? And Leon was like, I was actually going to suggest that. I was like, if you don't, because I was like, there's no door, but if you think that's better and the voice won't travel as far, then let's do that. And Leon was like, yeah, I think that'll work better. I was like, okay, sounds good to me. I was like, listen, I have the laptop, I have the mic set up from the PAL, I have the camera from the PAL. So like, it's a good setup. Like, we're not going to go wrong here, you know? So yeah. But I've also been busier this week than I was the week prior. I've been doing so much work. This week I had a podcast Monday night for the AU versus the World. On Tuesday, we had Peak. On Wednesday, I had Peak and the PAL. On Wednesday, I had the GTA stream. I had another AU versus the World podcast, and I had 90 Day podcast. So I had those three on Wednesday. Then yesterday we had the bingo stream and we had Big Brother study / feeds overnight. Then today, and I edited the PAL yesterday during the morning. And then here we are today. So like I've not really even been around all that much. I've been like barricaded in my room for the most part. Pooya Kelly to volunteer for the couch. No. It's not quite the same. I don't like Nutella much. That's the only time I've liked it, though. I love Nutella. It's my kryptonite. It really is. I would binge eat Nutella at 3 a.m. if I had any. Sin on me. That's why I don't keep it. I don't keep it because of that. Because that's when I'm going to eat it. and I'm gonna eat all of it. Like I could sit there and just have toast and Nutella back to back to back to back to back. Like same with dark chocolate covered pretzels can't be in my house. Right. With milk, ideally Fruit Loops. Yeah, I do the same with milk for cereal. I love cereal as a snack with milk. But it's mostly the chocolate based ones are like a Frosted Flakes. I like to toast English muffins with butter in the air fryer and then put peanut butter on them. Then you put them back in the air fryer to get the peanut butter all melty. Damn, that sounds amazing, Amy. Has anyone here tried Nerdy Nuts? I'm addicted. They've got a flavor that's like a Samoa in a jar. Mods, be on the lookout for some spray bottles, please. In my 30 plus years, I've never had that until I got a sample at Sam's a couple months ago. Who are those names other than Taryn? Do they still pod? No. So Alex left about a year into us being, like, me being in the network. And then Brent left around 2020. So he's not been part of RHU for 5 years. Alex hasn't been part of RHU for 7 years-ish. But they podcast, like, Brent podcasted on Johnny Fairplay's platform for like a couple seasons and stuff. Jez is on his T-Pain arc. Okay. I totally get that. I love rice and summer. When I get hungry, I watch them eat it on Survivor. I had coconut, so no issues there. I skip on the coconut, but I'd be lying if I said I haven't gotten back into rice watching them eat rice. So, because sometimes the rice do be looking good. Give me S'mores by Ben & Jerry's is elite. Like the name. What's the worst case scenario for this week's HOH? I feel like people are holding their breath for something to fall short, but I can't quite figure out what would be a disappointing result. Let me paint it. Okay, so Morgan wins the veto, uses it on on Vince. Vince comes off the block. Morgan can't get renommed. Zach uses his 10K buyout, and now the block consists of some semblance of Keanu, Lauren, and Kelly or Catherine? I don't know. Something like that. How about the $11 waffle cones at Six Flags? I always chose mint chip and I've never heard of this. Why did they come for Kermit and Blah on the clock tower like that? Because they don't respect fun, Sinan. What happened was I was cooking too much with a character. And then I caught Brando, and that was when it's over when Brando is like, no more fun, because I need to get you out now because you figured me out. The Soothing people were Pooya, Liana, Melissa, Aman. That's all I remember. Well, there were 10 of us. There was Adam, who ended up doing quite a few podcasts on RHAP. He was like one half of the RU, the one pod for its run on the platform. There was Dustin, who did a couple pods and then left. There was Cam, there was Nod, Jen. Hey, Liana. Are you okay? You're tired? What are you eating? Huh? Can I have one? Yeah. I'm stealing Liana's snack. Ah.
These are mine.
It's ours. We share. I try, DH. I try to be a gracious host. Need to soundproof that room. What, my stream room? Maybe. My go-to meal snack when I don't feel like cooking is roughly mashed. Ah! Ooh, it's on my shoulder. Thank you, Bean. Too big a bite.
You put the whole thing in your mouth? Oh my god.
Okay. Sorry, I had to chew that. I'm back now. You're killing it, so excited you're busy working. It's been great. It's been a good time, Sarah Lynn. The GTA was so fun. I was looking at other streamers. Is it the time to RP other people on the same server, or does that mean someone else? No, yeah. So whatever blank RP that you see on on Twitch, Mandy, those are the different servers. So there's Prodigy RP, there's No Pixel, there's Onyx RP. So Time 2 is the server I'm in. So if you see anyone with Time 2 RP, they're in that same world that I'm in also. So I will maybe bump into them kind of thing. Any deadheads in the chat? I don't know what that means, Sunshine. Literally having frosted flakes right now. Love that D3. Enjoy. Good makes a sugar-free Nutella. It's good. Can you link it to me, Jabina? Once I start dipping things in my Nutella, it goes as fast as yours. Exactly. We don't need to talk about my Nutella habits, but like, my God. I tried Nutella in Italy about 25 years ago. I didn't know it existed, and of course I had to find it when I got home with you. I can't believe it would last a day. Exactly. I can't believe I've been around that long. I remember when Alex was axed. Right. I do kind of miss Brent on the round table. I feel it's like funny because I hear that sentiment a lot. And like, I think it's just because I'm very forgetful and like I keep constantly having to replace content with new content because I like run out of hard drive in my head kind of thing. But I remember that. I feel so old remembering how I'd listen to Alex and Brent as a kid. Oh my God, we grown now. I remember vividly the reason I was inspired to apply for So You Think was I was working overnights at the bagel place in like 2015, and I would be doing wholesale in the back, and I'd have headphones on, and I would just listen to hours of Taryn, Brent, Alex, and Jordan Parhar talk about the most minuscule Big Brother things, or like do their rankings and shit. And like, it was a good ass time, but I was like, I could do this. Let me do this. Let me try. And here we are now, all these years later. Morgan would say Vince over Zach. I don't know. I think so. But specifically, that would be like the quote unquote worst case scenario, right? Not sure if Zach remembers he has a power. They'll remind him. I like the guy Bobby. Bobby wasn't So You Think person. Someone following YouTube was able to get a sponsor with a company that makes panels you can put on the wall to soundproof. Ooh, kind of like fabric, but they look nice. Intrigued. Do you know what the brand is called, Amy? What do you and Leon do outside of podcasting? So Liana has a whole career outside of podcasting. So much that like Liana, I think at this point is not like podcasting a lot less than she used to, but she's like hella like she's a scientist. She's a doctor, Dr. Liana Boris they call her. So she's got a whole science career she's got going on. I was working when I first started podcasting. I was working full time at a bagel shop as a supervisor. And I started overnights. Then I moved into evenings. So I would work like 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. And then the last couple of years before I moved, I was working the morning shift. So I would work from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And that was my career. And then now I'm full-time podcasting and streaming. And I play Goose with Taryn regularly. Isn't it weird? I've been interested in listening to more of their music, Grateful Dead, and have respect for what I've experienced. Ooh. No, same stuff, but you think should be better when you're eating it in Italy. Yeah, those Big Brother ranking lists were the shit. Liana dabbles in podcasting? Exactly. It's so funny, because at this point, Liana shows up for the PAL, does the PAL, and then leaves. And then I'm promoting it and doing all the legwork for it. Otherwise, we don't even plug her socials at the end of the podcast anymore. Like, she's not tapped in, chat. Amy, please do. Would be curious. Good spread. No added sugar. Oh my God. Oh, I've seen this brand, 85. Okay. Yep. Shit. I'm going to have to look at this later. I remember when it was Robin Bryan. Yep. I remember that too. Mikey. In fact, I think that was like BB16 when it was Brian Lynch. My surprise was when I was attending a conference and the first person I saw was Liana. So what's funny, Sinan, is that, and I think you and I have talked about this in person now at one of the events, but Liana had mentioned to me that she bumped into someone who knew her from RHAP. So I had heard this story, and then I was like, oh, now I know who the other person was too. It's amazing you get to do what you love and share your passion with so many. I'm so grateful. Every day I'm grateful. I think that's part of why I feel like I have imposter syndrome, because I'm like, I'm happy doing this. Like, is that normal? Is this what people feel? Because I didn't think this was possible for me. And here we are. What is Liana research? Oh God. I'm the wrong person to ask. Because I don't think she's doing research anymore. She's like a lead scientist role now. She's in the big leagues now. Takes on the Chelsea Kirsten drama. My take is a very easy one. I feel like you're not required to like all the podcasters, right? Especially, you're entitled to how you feel with regards to outside media when you're a participant in these shows. So if you went through the whole season and then you come out of it and you're like, I listened back to some of these people, I don't like this guy's takes. That's fine. That's fine. You're not meant to, like, you might not like me. That's cool. But I think there's also the way she went about it, like the combination of, I'm not a fan of Kirsten and also her takes on RHAP, felt like a little bit like extra. Like, you could have been like, I'm not a fan of some of these takes on RH. Like, I feel like there was a more diplomatic way to go about it, but it really felt like she was trying to single Kirsten out. I think also it did fall on the day Kirsten was on the update. So then when she got pressed about it being regarding that, and she was like, no, it's not, only listen about 20 minutes. I was like, come on. Like, then you could have posted this yesterday. You know what I mean? So, but again, I genuinely don't, like, I feel like you're not required to like everybody in the space. Lord knows there's people who are not a fan of RHAP as a general, or they're not a fan of like specific RHAP podcasters. And like, we all know that's what we signed up for. We get it, you know, like, to have universal appeal is so difficult in any aspect of life. But I think there's also something to be said about like using your platform in a certain way. But I think also at the same time, then you can make the counter argument of like, well, don't the podcasters like throw shade at these house guests all summer long? It's like, that's true. We do quite a bit of that. I fucking put out a photo of a bread with hole in it. So it's like, again, it's like, I get it. It makes sense. But then it's like, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, no, I agree with Gotta Go Pack. The way she tweeted it without context just basically was like, hey, go dogpile on this. It's like the equivalent of like someone sends like a shady response and you quote tweet it so that your people can see it and like jump them, right? It's like that energy a little bit. She does like biochemistry. She's a biochemical engineer. No, biomedical engineer. Fuck me. You're not supposed to know what your partner is. And bless her, Liana really tried to teach me her science when we were first dating. And I was trying so hard to learn. You have no idea, chat. I was literally being attentive and paying attention. But it was not like sticking. And I could tell Liana was getting irritated. So she just stopped telling me about what she does. But I get to learn about the office dynamics, which is fun. Yeah, Sinan just wrote a bit of the thing of like what Liana does and what she researches. The only thing I don't like about Kirsten is her mic. Wow. She uses the same mic as the rest of us. Like this, I bought a different mic that I use upstairs now. But this is the microphone every podcaster uses right here. Let's see. Between the public eye is not for me. I don't know how people do it. I think Chelsea should have more respect considering she has also been invited as a guest on the pod. It just rubbed me the wrong way. Well, that also, right? Like, she had come on the pod, like, not this season, like 2 weeks ago. Kirsten gets a lot of unneeded hate sent her way for her takes. She's blunt, but I think if a guy was saying it, that'd be fine. I don't disagree with you. I do think Kirsten's one of the podcasters that definitely gets a lot of negativity sent her way. But also, she's one of the few podcasters that can actively handle and hold her own. I crumble at the sight of one bad comment. Did she delete it? I believe not only, I think it's still there, but I think she turned off replies. So, yeah. I saw the way she went about it was bad, especially after she was reselling the network herself. Exactly. When I do my research to others, they think I'm a lunatic, so I stop trying to explain and just explain very briefly. That's how I feel when I talk about podcasts and streaming stuff to people who have no idea what like that life is at all. I'm just like, it's like a radio show, and then they leave me alone. I'm like, okay. How long have we been together? Cumulatively, about 7 years? Yeah. Yeah, I gotta go back. I think that's how it ended up being. I think he just kind of like I think he still watches, but I don't think he talks about it anymore, you know? Not medical devices and equipment. It's more microRNA stuff. Cells and stuff. How do you send in a helpful critique? The guest podcast over use the word like and the term crash out. Just an observation from a long-time listener. Faye, I don't know if there's a great way to send it to podcasters because we don't have like a feedback form for the podcasters, right? Like for me, I don't mind if there's comments like that on podcasts I'm on because I listen to shit like that and I try and like improve if I can help it. But like the word like is a crutch for a lot of people. I think I know what my word is and I will avoid telling you so I don't ruin you listening to me for you. But the phrase crashing out and crash out is just, it's the trendy term right now. I think that, and by trendy, I don't mean like everyone's like, ooh, let me get on the fad. It's just, it's in circulation right now. And I think that's why you see a lot more people using it. Like it'll pass. That one will pass, I think. But for me, I have an anonymous form. If you don't want your name attached to it, you can put any critiques about me in my form, no problem. I will take it. We get Marv's tonight? No, I'm on this laptop setup, so unfortunately not tonight. I'm happy that Rob continues to support Kirsten despite the hate that she gets. Of course. We are a family. That was on Twitter. Yeah. I thought if we disagree with someone on RHAP, we're supposed to keep quiet about it. Well, let it be known that I'm not endorsing a, hey, come in here and just like speak wild things about people I'm close with. But I'm somebody who, if the criticism is fair, I understand it. You know, it's like I am an empath at heart and I can understand, or I can put myself in people's shoes and see it from the other side kind of thing. So when I'm told I'm being loud on a podcast, I'm like, fair. I can see where they're talking about. Or like depending on the pod and the analysis, I'm like, okay, yeah, no, that's fair. I understand that. But we're not all like, not everyone does that, and that's okay also. Why is everyone excited when I get new shelving units? We're very happy for you, Jinx. Kristen Hot takes her why we love her. I wish I was so bold. I look on the recap sheets. You find I don't particularly care for the updates. You just too much on those. I feel like I missed stuff because of comedic interruptions. Well, I think also with the updates, I don't want to listen to this song right now. I feel like with the updates though, we all have our own style. Like Taryn is your like one-stop shop guy, right? He's like, I feel like if you picture the live feed updates like this, Taryn is the play-by-play guy. The rest of us come in kind of like color commentary. Yes, we're going to have insight. We're going to have some back and forth, but it's still majority of it is going to end up being Taryn. So you got to like find your spacing in within the podcast and navigate it that way, you know? It's not you and it's Archie. We got you, Faye. Yeah, no, I think that's... So the best way I could say do it is probably... I don't know. Because sometimes people will feel defensive over their podcasters. So it will not go the way you want it to. I guess there's like no easy way to put it, is how I would say, as far as delivering that feedback. We got Butcher Legs for the first time chat saying, thank you, AZ, for the gifted. Also, how's it going, It's Boris? Hope you're doing good. Boris, what's good, man? Hey, hope you're doing well. Is it, bro? It's late. Go to bed. Go to bed. But also, hope you're doing well, man. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. I haven't seen you in a couple of days. We'll talk. I get not your brain just not getting certain things. My father was an aerospace engineer who literally launched astronauts and did the design for the guidance system in the cruise missile. He had 3 daughters, and none of us could understand math. So many arguments with him trying to teach us. Oh my God. The amount of times I've tried to teach my dad simple stuff on the computer, and he would get mad at me because I wasn't explaining it right, or he wouldn't get it. And I was like, oh, my patience is also running out, fam. So it's hard. So I thought, if you're not on the same wavelength, it's tough, but like, it is what it is. I never noticed Crash Out until Hood on Love Island. Now I hear it every time. There's a lot of language that gets inserted in through culture, through pop culture, through like different groups, different subcultures. Like last year, about a year and a half ago, it was all about it's giving. It was giving, things were giving. And then also Riz. Riz was prominent. Everyone's using Riz. That's dead now. So yeah, language is like that. There are new things come in, they take over, they're there for a long time, then they go away. It took me a while to get used to the guy who goes, comma, but. I think you're talking about AJ. If everyone on the pod had the same opinion or takes, it would defeat the purpose of a podcast. Right, exactly. I mean, what's funny is I still think RHAP gets accused of doing that. Which, like, is funny because then, but we all don't get the same critiques too, I will be at the RHAP event in October in New York. Yes. I don't know about San Francisco yet, but New York is 100%. We're going to New York. For sure. I learned the term crashing on the live feed update. Oh, wow. There you go. Ava's crutch word is frankly. Everyone has a crutch word of some sort. Like just ends up being the more common one for a lot of people. And it's also one of the ones that you're not going to notice you have. I think no one notices the crutch word they use. But some of us have different ones that we use. I can't get over how bad all these players are this season of Big Brother. It's very interesting to see who's going to be the best bad player, That was neat about Taryn and Jerry O'Connell. I agree. Keanu's currently talking to Riley about cutting Cat. This is why I don't want him to go anywhere, chat. It's so funny. Terrence Grant, honestly, only if you know how to weave in and out, you're great at it. Thank you, Gotta Go Pack. I have had consistent practice, like, to be fair. Since BB19, since BB20, I have had a locked-in Friday spot for, and I did, my mother-in-law asked me how many seasons of Big Brother I've covered last night, and we did the math, it's 20. BB Can 5, BB19. Okay, so from BB Can 5 on, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 8 seasons of BB Can, 3 seasons of Celebrity, so we're up to 11. And then that was from BB19 and up, right? So then, and OTT, so OTT makes it 12. Then 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 21. 21 seasons. So 21 seasons, if you remove OTT and you remove BB Can 5, those were the 2 non-feed live feed update seasons. Because we didn't get consistent. We got live feed updates BB19 actually. That's when it started. So yeah, 20 seasons of this. So I've had a lot of practice. I do really enjoy the banners. I prefer when there's any guests on the live feed update. Terrence's more dedicated to BB than I am to breathing. He's more dedicated to BB than I am to many things. Anything, maybe. I could listen to Chris and blast Riley for how he treats Catherine all day. I could not stop. That would be a hobby of mine. Me waiting until 5 a.m. for my fishing, buddy. Hey, appreciate it, man. They should show over DM on Discord. Some music over here. Sounds good. I'll give it a check after this. You don't like somebody on the internet, you don't watch, period. I mean, we are in a day and age. There is unlimited content, chat. There's unlimited content. There's like 300 podcasts about any little topic. There's like podcasts dedicated to like chip flavors. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's that niche now. So there's anything, there's that, there's television, there's streaming platforms, like 800 streaming platforms now. Every sporting thing has its own platform now also. Like, all I'm saying is, if people don't like something, they can easily find something else to watch. And like, that's fine. I think everyone would be happier for it. They'd be happier for it. The people who are doing the thing will be happier for it. But that's not how life works. Goodbye, Riz. Didn't miss you. Fit for outfit. I think people still use fit. Also heard Crasher for the first time on Love Island. Love Island really brought it to the forefront, I think, for a lot of people. I heard it a lot through streams initially. Before Love Island, I mean. I had to have Riz explain to me. Yeah, I had to explain some slang to Liana this week. Didn't go well. This is what happens in life. We get little silly sayings. In the 80s, people used to say, gag me with a spoon and gag me with whatever you want to add. When Britney referenced Skank and Biatch, it brings me back to 2010 so fast, like a familiar fragrance. Like, yes, 2010 is in the air. What's my crutch word? I don't want to shatter the glass. If I tell you, then you're going to notice it. And I don't think that's good for us. Because I'm trying to not use it anymore, you know? Is there anything you want to do or like to do for when you're in NYC? Honestly, I'm like the worst person when it comes to stuff like that because I am not there for like the sites or, oh, we have to hit up this spot, this spot. I'm there for the people. So like, I'm there to hang out with friends and have a good time. Have some drinks, have some food, hang out, laugh. That's what I'm here for. So I would say... Pearl's hovering around over there. I would say that no. The answer is no, but I'm also not closed off to doing activities, you know? Is yours It's not. It's not. But I think it could be. Bet may see you there. I hope so, Sam. Fingers crossed. My crush words are like and basically. Basically is a good one. I think quite a few people will use basically. What is Liana's crutch word? Liana is an girly for sure. He's amazing to watch. Keanu's elite for that. Keanu and Riley are discussing also voting out Zach over Vince. So funny knowing what we know. Hey, Pearl. She's by the staircase. I don't think she's going to come here. I was hopeful she would pull up, but I don't think she will. Like is also popularized for millennials as a crutch word through movies such as Legally Blonde. Okay, it's true. Now I'm going to listen for all the crutch words of everyone playing Goose Goose on Sunday. Don't do that to yourself, Lori. Don't do that to yourself. Mickey told Will she doesn't know if she should go with Vince, Zach, Morgan, or Will. Ava, Ashley, Rachel. She told Will that. Hold on. Let me read that again. Mickey told... Oh, you know what? Yes, that's what I said earlier. I was like, why would you ever bring that up in this week? Does Rob give the podcast a guidance and let them do their thing? There's no, like, Rob guidelines. No. Rob will do this thing, though, where, like... I've seen Rob be very complimentary to podcasters if he's been listening to their stuff and has really enjoyed it. So like he was very kind to me for my coverage of the Traders with Annabelle. He's been kind to me and Liana about our stuff on the PAL. He really enjoyed it the first couple of weeks when he was listening to it. So like that's Rob's guidance is just him like bigging you up. But no, there's not really been advice like that. But if you seek him out, he will give you advice if you want it. It is available. Was the Rat Kiss footage first shown tonight, or was it caught on the feeds? I had not seen it until tonight on the Unlocked, and honestly, they could have kept the key on that one. They could have locked that one in the vault right away, and I would have been fine. But no, we had to see it. We had to see it. Is the back of my laptop dusty, or is it just thumb? Is it like? I can't tell. I think it's just dust, not dust fingerprints. It's fine. To understand like you need to listen to Frank Zappa. Tell me more. Apparently lying is against Mickey's faithful way of playing, and that's a lie in and of itself. Yet you and so many of the RGO podcasts have become such professionals. I feel like any constructive feedback at this point is just nitpicky and hypercritical. Well, that's the thing. Like the early days of me podcasting. First of all, thank you for that, Lauren. I do appreciate it. The early days of me podcasting, the feedback I would get, I used, right? It was like, Pooya doesn't maintain eye contact with the camera, which now I'm getting accused of eye fucking people. So maybe now I need to like calm down a little bit and not look at you so much. But it was like not doing eye contact, and also I would like fidget, but not I would fidget in a distracting manner. Like right now, I can like have my fingers move around down here, and it's not bad. Or my leg is tapping, that's fine. But like I feel like I was like moving my head around a lot. I don't know. And also like I've read responses other podcasters have gotten, or I've read like comments and stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's a good thing for me to keep out for like myself not doing. So stuff like that helps, and I think honestly the biggest thing is just honing the craft in day out. Like the more you do, the more you learn, basically. All right, let's adjust a little bit here. You got to try malt vinegar and salt chips. I would be into that. Also, Riley apparently thinks Kelly's into him. Dear God. What are the kitties up to tonight? Chit-chatting. Or you didn't mean us. You meant my cats. They're fine. They're sleeping around here somewhere. Yep, that happened. What's my crutch? Okay, don't say bro twice in the sentence and then think I'm not going to pick up on that. It was used the word frankly a million times today. Gag me with a pitchfork. It takes me back to BB18 Poly saying type thing every other sentence. Or like when Heisem would say right every sentence. I would love to go to New York, but I wish they would actually do one for Big Brother. I like Survivor, but I wouldn't call myself a super fan. I'm not going to lie to you, Amy, and maybe this is a hot take. The Survivor episode and recap is not the main attraction of the event, right? Because think about it. That is 1 hour of television or an hour and a half of television and 1 hour and a half of podcast, right? So about 3 hours of time. We are doing more than 3 hours in the after event and on Tuesday and during the day on Wednesday. Like, I think there's a lot more that goes on into it. So I wouldn't say you need to be a big, like a fan of the show for you to enjoy the other aspects of it, especially because like a lot of people there are dual citizens of Big Brother and Survivor kind of thing. But also I've never been to a Big Brother show. Like when Ari Chippy did the Big Brother events, I've never been to those. So my crutch word is literally. That's another popular one, I think. Rachel and Ashley have said they don't trust Mickey, and Ashley said she strokes her ego, so at least they clocked her. Ooh. People are using literally way too much these days, and it drives me nuts. More than before, you think? Please, Will, tell Ava what Mickey said, then she can go home. No. Mickey is not going anywhere this week, okay? I have selfish reasons. So he doesn't micromanage. I was curious about that. There are a lot of podcasts. There's not a lot of micromanagement to do. Just think about how many podcasters there are and how many podcasts each of them have. It would be near impossible. Like, I'll tell you this up front. I've had conversations with Rob where, like, we've gotten into contact to talk about, like, how a podcast of mine is doing, or, like, bounce through some ideas of, like, how we can make it better, or, like, what we can change about it, and just kind of, like, get feedback and stuff like that. How was Unlocked? Was it worth watching? It was fine. I wouldn't go out of my way. Did you miss the bread and get the laptop? What? Valley Girl like? Gotcha. Viewers need to calm down. What viewers? Can you also win veto so Morgan can go up? That would be cinema. Riley is saying he has to throw the veto if he gets picked because he wouldn't be able to pick which one to save among the three. God, fuck off, Riley. I hope he throws it and then someone else wins it and he goes up, but that wouldn't happen, which I hate. Could they not have used Big Brother Unlocked to show me why people love Riley? Like, what the fuck did he do that I've not seen? You know what I mean? Riley just dropped the F-bomb 4 times in the space of 5 seconds. That's impressive almost. Mr. Wizard says, are you interested in some polite, sincere, but negative feedback on you and RG casters in general? Polite, sincere, but negative. I'm curious. I'm not going to lie to you. Robert said the B fans don't come out in the same way, which is interesting. I mean, not so much because I guess they're feeds folks, right? Come with the podcast, here with the after show. Exactly. But my New York ticket and flight just to book the hotel. Just to book the hotel. I guess I'm just used to watching it on YouTube. There's a bunch of survivor people that I sometimes don't even know on stage. Right, that's also fair. I'm on video calls a lot for work and constantly catch myself slightly moving my chair back and forth. It's swivel. I don't know if I'm doing it until I see myself. Oh, I know I'm doing it. I think I'm the number one swiveler on RHAP, for sure. Oh, no, the wizard. Yeah, go for it. I'm fine with that. And also, remember, chat, at the end of the day, whether you're new here or you've been here before, I welcome all conversation in my chat. So long as, like, you're not being rude to anybody, I'm willing to hear out your thoughts 100%. Even if I disagree with it. I'm very fond to keep, like, be cordial about stuff like that. But also I know that that's something that may make people feel uncomfortable, because if they know it's going to be, like, a hot take, they don't want to, like, deal with, like a back and forth, not with me, but with other people. So that's why the anonymous form is also there if you want to put stuff in there, you know? Bro was our dude back in the day. This Riley Catherine situation is why I don't speak too much on what Catherine feels. We tried to put feelings on her, and she's not repulsed by him so far. I think the thing is, B-Pred, I'm not even saying that she's not... Like, my thing has been focused on Riley is creepy about it. Riley is aggressive about it. Riley doesn't take no for an answer about it. Catherine has always seemed to be into him enough where, like, she's, like, been around him, or, like, you know, he's saying this stuff and she's not, like, repulsed by it. She's just not really been there to, like, reciprocate it. But I still think, like, despite, you know, like, was it Taryn who said this on the update? The update with AJ, where it was like, even if it's like they like each other, it's still inappropriate. And I kind of still feel that way with Riley. But I mean, it's clear that there's some feelings there with Catherine, obviously. At this stage. Who did I draft? I had Amy, Mickey, and Vince. And I thought Mickey and Vince, which were looking good, but now it's looking a little tough. Love the setup. Thank you, B-Pride. This is my downstairs setup, the living room setup. It's half pal, half pad tonight. They didn't realize until about like 20 minutes in. What do you think about the Keanu, Ava, Tiff during the veto? Most comments I'm seeing are siding with Keanu because people are bullying him. Curious to know what you think. I talked about this a little bit on the update today, but like I've both been the Keanu and I've seen the Keanu. Which what I mean by that is Keanu is the friend in the friend group that everyone feels comfortable roasting or like dissing, even the ones who are not really the dissing type. Because you know how like in a friend group, you have a couple friends that are like, they're always shit talking each other, like to each other, like, oh, you're this, you're that, you're this, blah, blah, blah. But then there's a couple friends who are like quiet and they don't really do that. But they will always reach out and talk shit to that one, the communal one, the one person everyone talks shit to. That's Keanu. So when Keanu makes that comment, Ava was like, hold the fuck on. I am not Jimmy. Why are you being sassy with me? You don't know me like that, but also fuck you. I'm ready now. Like, it's like, I think also you got to think about it. It's like been weeks of accumulating feelings towards Keanu that kind of came out. But also I think Keanu's apologizing about it is also like, I think Keanu is a little bit, and when I say like me, bear with me for a second. I'm the type of person when I've become angry in my past or frustrated or pissed off, and it can be little pissed off or very pissed off. It's always been the same where like my immediate reaction might be coming from a place of annoyance or anger. That feeling will go away in a matter of minutes. Now, I'm not saying Keanu's like that necessarily, but that's how I am, which then means I become very apologetic and I want to bury the hatchet, even if I don't think I was in the wrong, even if like it was valid that I felt that way, just because I want to bury it. I don't like sitting in that kind of feeling for too long, you know? If you were Alison Grodin for a day, what was one change you would make to improve the show? No, the DRs no longer have anyone guiding them in any type of way. They're completely unfiltered. That's one change I would implement, and I would put it into the Big Brother law right out the gate. I mean, that's a good start. I would take that. Also, Skippy is no longer allowed to be operating the buttons past like 5 p.m. every day. Is Pooya wearing an old school hoodie tonight? I am. This is old school. This is the old school Among Us X Pooya. Again, not a collaboration. Just a we made it. Someone said that Huskers only seeing Rat through Riley's eyes. They see how devoted he is to her and think that's chivalrous. I mean, 100%. That's how they see it. And so it's possible to like someone and also say no sometimes. When Kat said no, he would try to guilt her. Exactly. Even if she says yes, the other times there's no reason to guilt her. Exactly. Hot take is 10:30. I'm so sleepy. I'm dreading walking up the stairs to my bedroom. How high are the stairs? I don't need 1, 2, 3, 4 in my song right now. Keanu thinks he's close to the ratio out of anyone in the house. Oh my god, this man is the king of delusion. I love him. He is gold. He needs to stay as long as possible. In my opinion, she can like him and still doesn't make the concerning situations okay. Hard agree, Mandy. Her DR said he wore her down with charm. Like, how romantic. Right. Respectfully, you find him creepy, but Catherine likes him. So that's what I'm saying, is that Catherine likes him. I don't disagree. I do think he was a little too touchy out the gate, and a little too pushy of boundaries that she didn't want broken. What felt like she didn't want broken. But yeah. But I definitely do think she does like him. I mean, there's proof. There's proof to it. Ava and Kat were talking this afternoon in the HOH room, and Ava was asking Kat about how Riley and how they were going to end up together after a show. So obviously Ava doesn't see what we've been seeing, because I don't think she would have asked that the way she did. Well, also then yesterday there was a comment of Catherine talking about how she's basically been relegated to being a side piece to Riley's story, and like that's how she feels based on like the DRs and shit, which is sad to hear. But also I think it's important to remember that everyone operates differently in relationships and likes and dislikes different things in relationships also. So one person's ick is another person's aw. So yeah. I was worried when Catherine didn't leave Riley when he was talking about losing the HOH power. That's when I realized she might like him more than I think. Yeah, that if that wasn't an ick, then they weren't in it for the long haul. Keanu said on the live feeds that him and Rachel are the closest, and she would use the veto. Mine would be the way they describe what goes on in the competition. Drives me nuts. Red Wings, what did Keanu say? Is this the Rachel thing? Will, Ava, and Mickey are working together pretty closely, but that is not very strong. Morgan and Rachel. Keanu, no. Morgan, Rachel is in that. Keanu, no, she is not. Trust me, I'm closer to Rachel than anybody here. Never change, man. Never change. That's Keanu for you. That's the legend. The legend is Keanu. Let's see. Sounds like permission. Yeah, it is. Here we go. I listen to every RHAP, played Goose Goose with you. We're similar in age. I felt friendship and enjoyed the community, but something happened in 2020, and the podcast went extra liberal, extra woke, and really, honestly, kind of hateful of conservatives, Christian values, and people who vote Republican. So I haven't listened to or followed in RHAP in years now, not in terms of Discord either. Still wish you well, grace/peace, though, and I do appreciate the grace and peace. Wizard, I don't know if I would say that there was like a change in the people. The people were all the same. So the feelings the people had were the exact same also. I think what happened was that stuff like that became more front of mind. I think for a long time, topics like that, a lot of people, it was out of sight, out of mind. They weren't paying attention to it. Then the world changed. and a lot of things became more front of view. A lot more people were noticing things, seeing things, feeling things, sharing things. I think you also need to factor in the internet. The internet is a space where we are now a lot more informed about everything than we've ever been ever, right? Like, just think of all the platforms that are available for people, the amount of people that have microphones in front of them, the amount of people that have like a way to give their POV. I think the pandemic led to that, where it's lockdown. Everyone's home. Everyone's got an Ethernet cord and connection to the internet. So everyone's putting out their thoughts and feelings. So I think that is something that also came into it. I would say that you mentioned like extra woke. I just think the reality is that a lot of us have felt some of these ways for so long, and there's only so much we can see and feel before we start, speaking on it at least a little bit, especially given the platforms that we do have. I mean, listen, sympathize with my situation. I wasn't able to visit my long-term girlfriend because there was a Muslim ban that prevented me from visiting her. And I had never lived in Iran, but I was being punished for having Iranian parents. Like, that's the kind of thing I had to just put a smile on and be like, well, it is what it is. Like, that was my livelihood being wrecked. And I think it's just, there's a lot of people who, you see these things, you see the injustices, and you do want to either talk about them, or B, at the very least, like, put it out to the world that you empathize with it. And like, I do think I understand what you're saying in that there was a time where every podcast, not just RHAP, a lot of other platforms, were just that. We're just like shithousery, laughing at things, making jokes. And I still think there's a lot of that on like the recaps, right? The recaps are where you like mostly are getting that stuff. But I also understand for some people, they're like, it kind of got a little too polished, right? That's not my brand of comedy, and that's completely fine. I completely understand that. That's the, again, beauty of there being unlimited platforms and stuff available there. Now, the second part of the stuff you mentioned, I don't think anyone's really being hateful of Christian values. I mean, let me not say anyone. I'll say me. And I'm sure you're not referring to me, but let me speak on it as I, not we. Let me not speak for other people. But like, I have no issue with anyone's choice of religion or practicing of religion whatsoever. I find religion to be something that has brought a lot of people both peace, answers, love, has really framed who they are, has made them a member of society that has been very positively contributing and like making the world a better place. I think when it comes to religion and game shows, I've always had an issue with it. Not in like it shouldn't exist, because we are humans, right? It's always going to be there. But sometimes it gets harped on a little, where like it gets entangled with the gameplay, and I don't love when that happens, but I also know it's like not preventable necessarily. So that's not for me. But yeah. All right, where were we? Let me catch up with you now. I hope, and listen, Wizard, I wish you nothing but grace and peace as well, my friend. And I respect your reasonings for not like being around anymore, but also appreciate you stopping by. I really do. And if you stick around, that's cool also. But I hope that answered your question. All right, and then out of nowhere, who's this person that came in? Are you new here? All right, I really appreciate how you started line after George Floyd. It's been so great, says Tara. Also, there's reasons why the showman says don't go beyond the house. It's like living in another dimension. True. Did anyone see the discussion in Q&A today regarding attachment style theories? That insight and correlation to Big Brother always interests me. Katie, I did not check that out, but I will, because I love conversations like that. The amount of times I've seen him fondling her ass is nauseating. For our viewing, let's all hope no Riley for Catherine. Or for Catherine HOH. I agree. For us, I don't want either of them to get HOH. For us. I found RGB to be really inclusive, and I think that's like a thing I'm very happy to have. almost wish Riley wins HOH next because he's too comfortable in the house and he needs eyes on him. You want him to become a threat. I picked up what you said. Well said. Thank you, Liv. 2020 changed the world for so many of us. It really did. I'm not who I was from like 2020 on. You know, I'm a different person now. Terrence started talking about bigotry more as well. It became like it's one of those things where once the conversations started happening, it was like, it was eye-opening. I remember when Big Brother stopped just being a show to me vividly. And it happened. This is how it happened. I was on the live feed update. I want to say the morning after there was quite a bit of microaggressions happening against Ovi from Mickey, Jack, and the jackasses. And I remember not only coming onto the update, having this, I was very conflicted. Because up until that point, I was like, I'm just having fun, I'm just goofing off. And I was like, as a brown person, I really felt this like innate need to speak on this because it was bothering me. And, you know, it was a very weird spot for me to be in because I never want to get on an update or a podcast and come off like I'm being preachy because I genuinely am not. I don't know better than anybody. I've always said this. When people think that I think I'm smarter than them, I'm sad about that because I'm like, but I know I don't feel that way because I'm not smarter than you. I am just not. I can be pretty dumb sometimes. But in that moment, I was like, I have to say something. So we talked about microaggressions on that update, and it felt weird, but it also felt like it felt good. It felt good to speak on it because, I mean, this is something I enjoy, right? Big Brother is something I enjoy. I don't do things I don't enjoy. And this was actively making it unenjoyable. And it was like, well, if I'm going to have to fucking like watch this for the rest of the summer and talk about it, I need to free myself of it. I need to like speak these things and then I need to look at the goofy shit after this. But I need to like acknowledge it. Like it's important to like acknowledge it. We're not sweeping things under the rug. We're not ignoring things. We have to speak and then move on. Can it get tiresome? Of course. But also it's tiresome for the people that have to deal with it also, you know? Anyway, I don't know. Am I coming off? I have no idea how I'm coming across right now. But I hope it makes sense what I'm trying to put out there. I'm trying very, very hard. Aaron, hello, welcome in. It's only week 5 and every man has hit the block at least once. When's the... Ooh, I like that statistic. Damn, you're right. The last 2 hit the block today. I have to clean shit my beard whenever I go to the airport so I don't get stopped by security. Oh my God, sit down. That has been... I actively had to put aside every travel night. I had to put aside time to trim my beard to its thinnest and like remove any scraggly bits and like trim the middle of my eyebrow. I was like doing the most just because I didn't want to be taken aside for an extra 15 minutes. But yeah, the good news is our beards do grow fast. The beard growing fast is a blessing. Didn't even read my comment. Thanks, Pooya. Well, to be clear, Shmer, your comment was, ooh, I wish I could hook up with this player. This other player is so lucky for having hooked up with them. I'm happy for you. Like, like, what do you want me to say? Like, why would that have been like, can you also said this comment in the middle of what feels like a very important conversation we're having. Like, speaking of Ovi, I heard his wedding made People magazine. It did. The pictures were beautiful. I love how RGB added a lot more diverse voices within the class. Honestly, Tara, I mean, before the class of 2020, me and Amon represented any people of color ever. And I do not think we accurately represent that entire like scale at all. So it's been nice that we have a little bit of everything. Did you cover BBOTT? Well, So You Think happened during BBOTT. So that was kind of like the first season we got to do coverage on. So I did a couple episodes. And by a couple, I mean legitimately 2. I got cut after that. New setup? Yeah, it's my downstairs setup, Seth. BBOTT was peak social experiment. They were comparing the game to Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump. It was an awful time because it was everyone campaigning for votes outside of the house for politics and outside of the house for Big Brother. It was messy. Sinan, hey, this is just the thing we have to do. Pooya, well said, well responded. I appreciate you taking the time. If you want to talk about it, I'm sure you can figure out how to reach me. I didn't know about your connection in Iran. I pray for the people there, people of the book, as they say, and referee and umpire sports. One of the hardest things I have to do is I have to make sure I have the best take based on the actual facts. I find this to be a good way to approach life as well. Love you for you, sir. Sounds good, Wizard. Take care. Thanks for sticking around for the conversation. I do appreciate it. What's nice to be very political. That's not why we're here, people. Well, let's get another question in from the forum, shall we? Let's see what the anonymous forum is talking. Do you think Ava would resort to Ashley's renom? I don't think so. If noms stay the same, do they have the votes to send Vince home? Let's see. It's hard to answer because I'm trying to think. Okay, so we talked about it on the pod today, but Will, Ashley, Rachel are votes that will vote how Ava wants to go, which is Vince. The problem is if Keanu's still on the block, then it's a problem. Because then I could see, if it's Keanu and say Vince, I could see Mickey, now that she doesn't know where she wants to go, Mickey, Morgan, in that situation, Zach. I guess also in that situation, would Catherine and Riley go for voting out Keanu? And Lauren would not want to get out of Vince, so that wouldn't happen. Yeah. Mickey wants Vince gone too? Okay, so that's a better shout then. Oh, Keanu and Riley want Zach out over Riley. Okay. It's a full moon tonight? Oh, really? Oh, we got a lot of questions in the forum. Do you think you're ever going to continue to make another series of edited YouTube videos? I miss your Hitman series, but I understand not continuing it if it isn't your vibe anymore. What about a new series? So, I've thought about it. The thing is with the Hitman series, it was a dedicated bit of content that was 100% done online and 100% done, 100% done offline and 100% edited to be put on online. And that felt like it was fun, but it also was a lot of work I was putting into it. And it was taking time away from the other stuff I could have been doing. I'm not opposed to it because I did enjoy playing it. And there's definitely some content out there where I don't think it's content that is done right for a live audience. If that makes sense. Like, I don't think it would be as enjoyed on my stream versus like on YouTube. As far as specifically doing content to be edited to put on YouTube offline, I don't know if I have it in me right now to do that. But if there's content online that I could convert into a YouTube video, I would be down. I think I just have to practice and learn. So for example, Peak would be a great series to edit together and put on YouTube. Just with my footage, even not even counting like the fact that I could go and look at Scally and Kirsten's footage and like pin them all together. It'll be a little harder to do. But you know. You watch TikToks? Relax. I owe no such thing. I owe no such thing. I never managed to catch you live. I love this. Thank you, Wit. I appreciate that. And thanks for coming out of lurk mode to say that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Please come back at any time. But yeah. So I would try to do like, repurposing some of my live stuff would be good. Because I would like to make that YouTube channel mean something. Right now it truly is just a VOD, a space to put some VODs. And even then I'm not consistent with that. Thank you for the tier 1. Appreciate you. Thank you for officially joining the Lesson 2 crew. Enjoy your emotes. Enjoy your ad-free experience. And thank you for supporting me. I really do appreciate it. How's your bingo card at this point? Let's look at it. Let's look at it. Okay. So on my bingo card, Rachel suggests Vince as nom. She didn't even have to this week. Someone falls off the hammock. No. Zach uses power. Will happen. Hasn't happened yet. Might not, actually. All three noms are brand new. Sadly, Keanu is not new. Morgan and Mickey fight. Sadly, didn't happen. Vince whining about Rachel. Probably has happened. Rachel cleaning. I will assume will happen. Feeds down more than 5 hours. Did happen because feeds came on way too goddamn late yesterday. Someone does someone's hair. Bound to happen. Someone says too soon to target a player. I don't know. Veto's not used. Don't know yet. Eavesdropping. Bound to happen. Riley does a creepy. Is a free space. Storage room celebration. Yes. Someone volunteers to be a nominee. Who wants to see my HOH room? Has happened. No have not this week. Do we have nots this week? Housekeepers complain about cleanliness. Bound to happen. Morgan talks about modeling. Not sure. Nominee wins veto. Nail care. Rachel rolls her eyes. Zach flirts with Ashley. And HOH asks Nom to not use veto on themselves. Okay. Vinyl, appreciate the 56-month. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. No marbles tonight. No marbles tonight. Not on this setup. You've been in Minnesota for a bit now. What's something you miss about your old home and something you love about your new home that you didn't expect? I love living in like a suburb area. I really thought I would not be into this because I'm so used to, I've lived my whole life in a busy like city vibe energy place where there's a lot of cars, there's a lot of people, but there's something so like I was hi Clam. I was really expecting it to be like way too quiet, like in a creepy irky way, and that's not been the case at all. And I still get to see people. Like it's still like a good mix of. It's not like a dead city, you know, like not like a dead neighborhood. So I'm happy about that. So that's like a big part of it for me that I do like. Van Boys, welcome in. So that's the thing I like. Something about my new home. Sorry, what's something you miss about your old home? Old home. So old home, we're just going New Haven at this point, right? Let's just go New Haven. And the thing I miss about New Haven is that everything that I needed was walkable. I could walk to everything. I need a car here to get to a lot of different places. Like I have access to like some things close to me, but a lot of things I can't just do myself. I need the car, and Liana commutes to work. So we've talked about me getting my own car, like a little shitty car to go from A to B, but I don't want to do it. I don't like driving, so yeah. I hope that answered your question. The girls help Rachel do her hair again. There we go. Cabra shave his hair. Perfect. No have-nots. Okay. Morgan went on and on about modeling. Perfect. Ava living rent-free in Riley's head has got me laughing. Ben said he didn't want to go on the block this early. I don't know if that counts. Or maybe that square is about other people. Someone else has to be like, no, we can't go after this person. It's too early. Clam cameo. Exactly. Clam startled you. She does this a lot. She hops in and out of the window there. The hair help did happen with Rachel. The girls all helped her do her hair. There we go. Love the living room setup. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you. Yeah, I've added a couple new elements. If those of you who are not here, I have a new starting soon screen finally. After many years that I've had to change it, that I said I would change it. Here it is. Look, and it's me in the background. Hello. I'm in the blurry cam. So yeah, I did it. Do you miss living by the coast? You're a girl not familiar with Minnesota. I would say not really because I didn't go like by the water a lot, if that's what you mean. I also have come around to the central time as opposed to like East Coast time. The math is a little tedious because I'm like, okay, +1, -2. But honestly, I like the spot I'm in. It's not a bad spot. I'm in the middle. What BB alumni have you met before? In person? I've told y'all the story of how I met Corey in America. That was wild. I've met Jag. I've met, and when we say meet, it's like you had a conversation with. I've met way more survivors than I have Big Brothers, Big Brother people. I've met Kevin Jacobs, the legend, an absolute ledge. I've met Ozza. Ozza's amazing. I've met Chada. Chada's amazing. Have I met Taylor? I don't think I've met Taylor, you know. I don't think I met Taylor. Have I met Claire? I don't think I met Claire either. A shame. Yeah, in person, I think that's it. It's a very small list. Unless I'm forgetting somebody. Is there a good public transportation system? Yes, I just haven't taken it yet, May. A bike? I've thought about maybe getting an e-bike. A bike, I would have to learn how to ride a bike again, which I think I could, but I could get an electric bike. That's possible. Looking so professional. Thank you, Scally. Thank you so much. How you doing tonight, Scally? Scally in the house? Yeah. Did you happen to talk about the league? I did not, Mandy. Thanks for reminding me. All right. Let me if you could lend me an ear right now, Lesson 2 crew. I want to talk to you about a fantasy football league that is being run. This is not a new league. This has been a league that's been running for a couple of years now in the Less Than 2 Discord. But I was told to plug it here tonight in case anyone wants to join it before it launches. It's being organized by Tova. So the league signups have been put up right before the pad here. So if you would like to sign up, head on over to the server and sign up. Okay? Go ahead and do so. If you're not in the server and you're wondering how to get in, if you are subscribed or you got a gift sub in the last, if it's active right now, you can connect your Twitch account to Discord and then get access to my server. The good news is you don't have to stay subscribed to stay in the server. So in the event that you're like, you know what, money's tight, or I'm not cutting support on financial, that's completely fine. You're more than welcome to still stay in the Discord. I only have this measure here so that randoms who don't know me can't come in, infiltrate the Discord, and spread nonsense. You know, so it's like a security measure almost. So if you're subscribed but you're not in the Discord, go ahead and do so and enjoy. I've met Izzy. You're right. I've hung out with Izzy properly too. It's weird because I almost think Izzy's one of the Survivor players at this point. I've met Scally. This is true. I feel like Survivor players are more personable and easier to talk to than Big Brother players. Just my experience. Honestly, I felt the same. I feel the same. Granted, the Big Brother players I've mentioned to you right here, they're all people that I could talk with easily, but I think it's also the new school Big Brother people are different. But I don't think I'd feel comfortable talking to all of them, though. I feel like there'd be a level of I don't know how to talk to you type of thing. Chad and Ashley have the same mannerisms as Wild. Doing well, just hanging. Love that, Scally. You are also joining. I am not joining. I have one fantasy football league that I'm shitty at, and I'm sticking to the one. I actually was in the first, I think it was the first season of the Less Than 2 one, and I got my ass kicked, and I quit. So yeah. You never forget how to ride a bike, but don't chew gum and try it. Is that a saying? This is Joe Burrow's year. Who day? Is that the Bengals who day? Did I nail it, Pixie? Or am I going to get shamed now? Who's on your wish list of people to see at New York? Do I have a wish list? It's weird because I'm I want to say all the people I've already seen or hang out with or I'm friends with. So yeah, I don't know. It's a hard question to answer. I remember when I had Facebook, I was Facebook friends with Hurricane Howie, and we would wish each other happy birthday for years. Oh, that's incredible, Mikey. The Discord is fun. Go ahead and join, peeps. It's not wrong. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. Maybe we'll do this Jerry O'Connell movie night thing. Who knows? Who knows what the world has in store for us? Hide and Go Veto was week 5 last year. Maybe we'll get it again tomorrow. Oh, I cannot wait for the carnage. The absolute carnage. You nailed it? Hey, perfect. No, you don't forget how to write about it, but it can be harder than it used to be. Right. All right, let me answer another question from the forum since we got a few here. Okay, we already talked about how did you feel about the Chelsea Kirsten situation? Why was there no public support from RHAP podcasters for Kirsten? Kind of disappointing. There was a lot of support for Kirsten. Like a lot of us talked behind the scenes with Kirsten. I literally talked with Kirsten live on stream while it was happening. But the reason why it didn't happen is because nothing good comes out of like 20 podcasters jumping one person online. Like they're at a certain level, all of us are on the same page of like, let's take the high road, you know? Like these two, she has her disagreements about Kirsten. The fandom came out the woodwork to support Kirsten. Kirsten got the love she deserves. And so it's like, all right, that's that, you know? As opposed to like, we all start jumping in and now it allows people to be like, RHAP is hateful. And also for other people to chime in and now it's a whole like war over nothing, you know? And like Kirsten literally said in I think it was the Facebook group, she was like, thank you everybody, but we're good here. So if she's good, we good, you know? New setup. Rooster, welcome in. This is the downstairs. This is the living room. I'm currently streaming from here tonight because I have my mother-in-law visiting and she is asleep upstairs in the room adjoining to my room, meaning that we share a wall and I've been told I'm loud when I'm podcasting or streaming. So we're doing it from here so that we don't interrupt anybody, you know? All right, next question. 2 episodes of Unlocked right now. Curious for your honest take. I'm really finding it a tough cringe watch. Actors playing fake intern and cameraman, uncomfortable banter between host and guest, dated material by the airtime. The only thing I'm enjoying are the clips we haven't seen, which the live feeds are being shut down not to show us. I may have to tap out and just catch clips online. I'm going to say this. Some may think it's biased, but I genuinely, in my heart of hearts, do mean this sincerely and not just bias, like not from a biased perspective. Taylor is the best part of the show. The clips obviously are the best thing because like you get react content. Taylor is just proving that she belongs in a TV role like this easily. I'm not really connecting with Derek like that on there. I think the guest element is a little bit meh, even though Jerry O'Connell has like personality to offer, but then the bits come off very like bitty and like scripted. Like I said earlier, I think that it's a lot less discussion, a lot more, all right, flashy title and 2-second segment. All right, next flashy title. So it's a little bit disjointed as well. Like it's hard also because it's once every 2 weeks. So the one thing I do like is that I'm very happy that Taylor is getting more and more opportunity because hopefully this catapults her into more opportunities down the line. And also it's actually very nice to see her be acknowledged as basically, without competition, the face of the modern era of Big Brother. But the concept itself isn't for me, but also at the same time, we got to remember, this isn't for us. Unlocked is for the people who do not do live feeds, who do not do podcasts, right? This is their podcast. You got to remember, you got to see it that way. So they might be into it. But also, I did feel like the thing I did like about tonight, though, I have to say, is the fact that we had a Brendan and the kids, like a Rachel hometown visit. I thought that was very fun. And that's something we used to see on like an eviction episode that we don't see quite as much anymore. So I was very happy to see that. I was very into that. That was good. Ashley is currently lying to Vince about the vote, and he's more confused. I love it. I love that she's been able to convince so many people. Also, it's very fun to see Rachel be like, listen, I know you did it, but let's just say Vince did it. The gaslight. What about Scream 2? That's a good Jerry O'Connell movie. I've watched the first Scream, not the second one. And Water is Wet. Do you all think that she should have been honest with how she messed up the vote, and tried to change it? No. I think that makes her look like an unreliable ally. I agree the celebrity guest should be a chop. Jerry needs to replace Derek. I would be down for that. And again, I think Derek, what's funny is I think the way Derek speaks and the way his personality is, he is more so a, like, what he was doing with Cody on the winner's circle is what he's more fitting for, which is a more serious, we're just going to break down the strategy and like talk a little more analytically about the people. Like, it's like not everyone can be funny and be precise. You know? Some people have it both ways. Some people can be on the long form and the short form. Some people can't do both. And I feel like Derek's not fitting as much here, in my opinion, for this format. Do you like it better than or worse than After Sun? May, can I be honest with you? It's hard for me to answer that when I've never watched After Sun. I've never watched a single episode of After Sun. So I like it better than After Sun by default, maybe. But that's not true because After Sun brings like past Islanders on. And it's a little more interview. I've seen a lot more clips from After Sun, actually. So actually, After Sun is probably the better format. Probably. Mission to Mars, never seen that either. That segment made the whole hour worth it. Agreed. I wish they'd do it every Friday instead of every 2 Fridays. I think every 2 Fridays makes it hard for people to care about it, you know? If anyone wants more Taylor Hale content, her episode of Morally Corrupt with Rachel Lindsay, a Bravo-based recap show, is excellent. What did they talk about, Stephanie? I remember bringing my DVD in 7th grade and we all watched it. Hot take. I like Derek on the show because he offers a different perspective than Taylor. True. Taylor might have given that they have very different experiences, but they're also true. Also, they both kind of feel themselves and won't be afraid to impose each other's opinion, which makes for good content. But I don't know. That's me. No, I think that's also fair. I think also what I do like is at least they've got this little like built-in banter where they don't want to give each other credit and they're shady towards each other. That's the shit I eat up and I live for. So I do like that. So you got that going for sure. Derek watches only what is required for the show. He's not a live feeder, so his finger isn't on the pulse. Yeah, but again, the casual's not going to know any better. For the casual's like, nope, this makes sense. This is good enough for me. All right, let me try and answer another question from the forum here. I text that you hold back while podcasting for fear of backlash, or are you more of a tell it like it is podcaster when it comes to the update? I just think it's wild for past cast members to criticize RGB podcasters. That is your job, right? Kirsten has a right to speak her mind. I didn't hear her say anything out of pocket. What's your thoughts on the whole situation? Well, we've talked about the whole situation already. The reality is I've had both moments, as illustrated tonight. We've had both moments where I've spoken my mind very earnestly and unapologetically. And I've also had moments, if I'm being honest, where I've been exhausted and tired, and I was like, I cannot take any more bullshit on my mentions, so I'm not gonna bring this thing up that I've thought about. Like, I've had takes that I've kept to myself, and I've talked about on this stream, but not on like the update before. And also, like with the update, the good news is I'm not required to I'm not there to like give my takes. I'm there to report on what happened on the feeds. So it could be like a thought that I had that is not as important or as vital to the update that I'm fine to leave behind because I'm just exhausted. I don't want to deal with people. So yeah, I have done that before, but not with y'all. For the most part, I've shared all my thoughts here with you after the fact. So we Gucci. But I mean, that's the thing. When you go on Big Brother, it is my opinion that you have signed up to be on the show, which means you've signed up to be celebrated, to be memed, to be rooted for, to be rooted against, to be made fun of, or to be mocked for your decisions. But I think for a lot of the podcasters, at least, outside of the problematic people, when you come out the house, this is us. We're like, welcome in. Like, thank you for the great summer. It was a lot of fun covering your season. And you can answer one of two ways. And I think either way is valid. You can say, I did listen to your coverage, kind of shady, but I appreciate you. It's all good. Or you can be like, listen to your coverage, fuck you. And I think you're allowed to do either. You're allowed to do either. You really are. For me, the door's always open. Because again, you're coming out from the house. You're like, this motherfucker's never been in the house. He doesn't know what I've gone through. What makes him think he knows better than me? What makes him think he knows his shit? You know? So, yeah. And I think it's fair. I've never been on the show. It's a lot easier for me to talk about it than you to do it. I died that they brought Chelsea on the show for a whole 3 seconds and said, they really brought her on to be like, this is who she drafted last week, and then kicked her out. Jody, thank you for 30-second months here. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Welcome back into the Lesson 2 crew. When you moved to Minnesota, did you fly or drive Delta? They have a big hub in Minneapolis. No, we drove. We drove from New Haven to Minnesota. It took a total of about 2 days to do it. About 20 hours of driving, 2 days. We drove 5 hours the first night, about 11 hours the second, and then like 5 hours the third day. And by we, I mean Liana drove, and I was very much color commentary in the car. / vibes, chief vibes officer. Do you think Zach will use his power? Do you think he's waiting to see if he needs to use it? He can't use it until after the veto anyway. So if he's on the block and he didn't win the veto, I think he uses it. If he wins the veto and comes off, I don't think he uses it, obviously. What was the initial spark that led you to participate in So You Think You Can podcast? Had you spoken in public before? I'm so curious. So I've had a bout of... I've played jump rope with being confident and insecure all my life. In high school, I was insecure leading to like the 11th grade. For some reason, from the 11th grade on, I became very confident in myself. And so with the confidence came more outgoing personality, more outgoing energy, more extroverted. I then moved schools at the end of grade 11, went to a new school for the 12th grade. And there I became the deputy head boy, which is like the vice student body president, I guess, in American terms. And I was I was asked to do a speech at our graduation. And I remember they were like, you'll have like 4 minutes. And I was like, who does a speech in 4 minutes? I need 15 minutes. And she was like, I don't think we can give you 15. I was like, ma'am, you don't need to worry about it. Like, I'm not going to stutter. I know what I want to say. It's from like, I'm ready. And she was like, well, can I see what you're writing? I was like, oh, I'm not writing it. I'm saying it off the top of my head. Like, we are not doing that. So I was very willing to just not riff, because it was like, I knew what I was going to talk about. It was like bullet points more than anything. So the confidence was peak at that point. Then I moved to university in Canada, and this was in Dubai. I was a head boy in Dubai, deputy boy in Dubai. I went to a British school. So then when I moved to Canada, I became a little more introverted, a little more shy, a little more, not scared, but like nervous, because like I'm in a new environment. I don't know how I'm going to be taken, approached here, seen here. I'm coming from a foreign land. What does that mean? So it took a while. And then once people got to know me, like within the first 3 months, I was back on my confident shit. I was very much feeling myself, happy, everything. But then second year was very humbling for me. That's when I think my insecurity started. I had put on quite a bit of weight in my first year of university. So I felt that, and I felt a little bit insecure in myself that way. I lost quite a few friends during that year. So that was a little bit uncomfortable, because all the people I was my most comfortable around were gone. They had dropped out or left. So then I feel like that felt like I was it was like a retransformation. I was like becoming it was a new chapter, and we were starting a little bit from the bottom in this new chapter. So then that went on for a couple of years. Then when I finished university and got a job, that's when confident me was back again. I was in a social setting that I was comfortable in. I was getting to know people. I was very much like the extrovert was coming out again, which was great. And around then is when I put out the call of like, would you like to be a podcaster? Like, would you, if you think you could do this, apply. And I was like, I could do this. I'll apply. And then when I applied, I still remember the fact that the first podcast I ever did was at noon Eastern. I was at my bagel shop until 8 a.m. Came home, slept for 2.5 hours, then woke up and did a podcast where people voted whether they liked us or not. And there's times in my life where if I had to do that on 2 hours, I couldn't do it. I'd like get panicked and I'd not do it. So then putting yourself out on the podcast, I think I didn't realize how big it was until you start seeing Reddit threads with your name on them. Then I was like, holy fuck, what have I got myself into? But then I got used to it more and more. But every year, the first update of the season, the first live feed update, I have the jitters. I am nervous. It's like the most eyes that are on me on a yearly basis is like that first live feed update, like where within 3 hours, 50,000 people have watched it. So I still get very nervous when I think about numbers like that. But for the most part, I've learned to be comfortable, and streaming has helped with this, where I've been talking now nonstop for 2 hours with you. I've not noticed time go by until I just looked at the time. And I feel great. And there's like 200, at one point 200 of you were in here just listening to me talk. And I didn't think about it twice. So the confidence, again, comes and goes. But streaming has helped. Podcasting more and more has helped feel comfortable. But in the initial days, it just, the opportunity came at the right level of confidence where I was like, yes, let me do it. All right, let me scroll up because I feel like I yapped for a little bit here. How many more weeks till everybody feels we get to the jury? I think, 2 or 3? Must be nice living somewhere where you can fly nonstop to Tokyo. I mean, if the opportunity presents itself, would love that. Where was let me see. He's talking about when he was at Hogwarts. Okay, relax, guy. Did I go to U Ottawa? I did not. I went to Carleton. I'm a Raven, baby. Well, did you go to university in Canada? That's a big move. So I initially thought I was going to go to the U.S. And like my dream school, and I say dream very loosely, I had been fondly thinking about going to UCLA for like about a year. And I had a cousin of mine who, like, he's my cousin in Dubai. He had gone to, him and I are the same age, but he went to an American school. So he graduated grade 12, left for university. I ended up doing an extra year. And sorry, I think was it a year? Anyway, I don't remember the time, but he went to university he went to Colorado for a semester. Then he came back and stayed. And when I talked to him, and he was like white passing. He didn't look as brown as me. To put it, he looked like white. And his name is Muhammad. And that's like the only indicator that would give you that he's not white. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up quite a bit is because he had a very negative experience being there, racially, and that put fear in me. I was like, if he had a bad experience, I'm going to have a worse experience. I was like, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do the States. And then it was that. And then at the time, and I'll admit this, there was a girl I liked who was going to university in Canada or planning on it. And just talking to her about it, she put me like onto it. So I researched it a little more. Mind you, I didn't even apply to the university she went to. I just applied to Canada at that point. And then I got offers from 2 universities, one in Toronto, one in Ottawa, Ryerson and Carleton. And I chose to reject Ryerson because I felt like if I go to Toronto, I already know people there. Like, I had friends and classmates who had moved to Toronto for university that same year. And I was like, or like a year before me. And I was like, if I go, I'm just going to go hang out with those people. And like, I'm not going to like hang out. Like, I'm not going to like come out of my fucking shell. So I was like, Ottawa it is, baby. That's where we're headed. As far as like, why make a move that far? Why not just go to university in Dubai? I wanted to leave the nest. I knew how it was around me. Like the friends I had around me who stayed in university in Dubai, they were getting like a really nice car in lieu of going to university and then just staying with their parents and just that's their life. And I was like, I don't want to keep living in a house where I'm going to respect them, which means I'm going to have to come home really early. I can't do this. I can't do that. If I want to go like on a weekend getaway with some friends, I can't do that shit because they are there and they are not going to allow it. I was like, fuck all this. I want the authentic university experience. So I was like, we're leaving. We're leaving, fam. So then we went to Canada and there you go. I don't think I could mentally handle putting myself out there like that, especially on so little sleep. It's a good thing I didn't think about it too much, Softy. Deciding to move to another country is big. What was behind the choice to go to Canada? Oh, we just answered that. Perfect. But I don't remember Harry Potter, but we have to go back and rewatch that. It was a good time. Your camera's so clear. Thank you. This is the same camera I have upstairs. I bought the exact same camera for the PAL, but I have better light here. This, we have one of those big light fusion diffuser thingies. I need to get one of those, maybe a smaller one for my room, so that I look as good as I do down here, because I think the quality right now is magic. And I would like to emulate this for my streams as well. Okay, Sinat. So it's not quite U of T, but University of Ottawa. So we can remain friends. Is there any Canadian, British, Dubai verbiage that has stuck with you? I don't notice it, Stephanie, but every now and then I'll say something and someone will bring up that, what did you just say? And I'm like, oh, that's what it is. How are you feeling about GTA RP? I know I enjoyed watching your stream. Just wondering how you were feeling about streaming for us. I loved it, Kala. I had so much fun. I felt like with y'all watching, I was also a lot more willing to be like outgoing, because I get a little nervous when I was just alone. So that was nice. I want to stream it more for y'all. I think as of right now, I'm gonna incorporate it at least once a week, so we can get a couple hours in, and then potentially we can move up to 2 times a week when like peak is, if we stop doing peak, or like if 1 week we can't do peak, maybe that day I'll stream some GTA as well. So I think we can do that. I had a positive experience, and I was nervous to see how y'all would take it, because if I did the stream and like not a lot of you showed up, I'd be like, okay, they're not really interested. That's fine. That's not what they're here for. But I think some of you gave it a try and seemed to like it as a result, and some of you were already excited for it and stuck around also, which I appreciated. So yeah, I was happy. I'm happy about it. Yeah, but Colorado's way different than LA. I mean, yeah, but I was a kid. I was what, 17, 18. I didn't really know much about the world. I didn't do a lot of research, and I was just like, it was a lot of word of mouth, and I was like, oh, fuck that, I can't do that. And I was close to Toronto. True. Ryerson is now Toronto Metropolitan University. Did they rebrand? Oh my god, I even know that. The couch stream is a great vibe for the pad. I love that. I'm happy to hear that. Maybe every now and then we'll do like one of these on down here. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe. Perhaps. See, I don't think I speak in a Jersey accent normally, but when I get angry, the Jersey accent comes out. What do you do on GTA? Hunt deer? Oh, what did we do, chat? What did we do on this last GTA stream? We hung out with the news reporter in the city. We met a guy who tried to invite us into his legal but illegal gang, but on the legal side. We declined, or we said we'll talk to you later. We never did. I showed everyone the pier. We met a pirate, which I had been in the city for a week. I'd never met this pirate before. So yeah. Right, so I did not know this, Jordan. And they renamed Donda. Oh, wow. I'm surprised I didn't catch these things. First time I've ever seen GTA stream. It was a great time. I'm happy to hear it. Because my plan, chat, is to, when GTA 6 drops, just so you know, we will be streaming it until we finish that game. We are doing that live on stream. I'm playing GTA 6 on stream the whole way. It's different than RP, but it's nice to know that we can get used to playing a game like that on stream, so that when that game happens, we can enjoy that as well. Are these real people playing those characters, or are they like vaudeville characters? No, they're real people playing those characters. It's real people on the other side. They're doing the exact same thing I'm doing, which is playing another character in real time. All right, what's the next question at? Do you have any experience with narcissists, and specifically covert narcissists? Have you ever had one in your life? If so, how did you identify them as being one? Are you still in contact with them? Let me just look up covert narcissist, and then I can answer this better. Covert narcissist. A subtype of narcissist characterized by subtle, often introverted, narcissistic traits. While they crave admiration and importance, they tend to display these traits in a less obvious, more passive-aggressive manner. Ooh, hold on. Introverted and quiet. Hypersensitive to criticism. Lack of empathy, feeling of entitlement. Manipulative behavior. Yes, yes. Okay, yes, I have had this in my life. Was your question, how do I deal with it? Am I still in contact with them? Yes. How do I deal with it? Once I realized I was being manipulated, it just didn't work on me anymore. So it kind of fell on deaf ears. And it worked in the way of like, okay, well, I'm not going to go out of my way anymore to accommodate this person, I'm still available. I still will reach out to them, but on my terms. So, I wasn't able to attend the first one, but looking forward to the next one. Sounds good, Kelly K. Check out the VOD if you can, just to get an idea of what it's going to be like. Because I think that'll give you some answers as well. You should play GTA 5 story mode on stream. When we get closer to GTA 6, there's a potential where we can do that for like a week, just to get like, not a refresher, but just to like, play it out for some people who may not have experienced it before, going into GTA 6. I was laughing out loud watching GTA RP. Tommy the Pirate, Ace in Spades was a good time. It was a good time, yeah. And we did get an internship as a reporter from Gale. I actually got contacted by another news corporation in the city, and they were like, if you ever have any scoops, let us know. We're the news boys. And so first thing I did was call Gail and be like, so the news boys are poking around? And she was like, it doesn't matter, I'm the official news app now. Which is true. If you check the news app in the game now, it's her news service, which is sick. Is Scally still in the chat, or did you duck out? Scally, temp check, you still in here, Scally? Did we go to the strip club? We did not go to the strip club. Well, not that day. Actually, not any day. I think the Vanilla Unicorn is vacant in our city. I don't know if this was asked yet. I also listened to your morning updates. What are the odds you feel this HH blows up in Ava's face? Nick, I'm going to say slim. It's not a great week if like Vince wins the veto, or like a Morgan wins the veto, takes Vince down, and then Zach uses his power. Then it can blow up in her face a little bit. But as long as the right people are renommed, it's still a net positive. Obviously, the best case scenario for her is if Zach or Vince leave. But there are still outs where it's a good, successful HOH. It blows up in her face if Keanu leaves. Or well, not even if Keanu leaves, to be fair. But like if she puts up Ashley and Ashley leaves. Which, come on, do not put Ashley up, please. All right, next question is, do you regret changing out of your Ava stock? Chat, I had a feeling last night when I saw that Ava stock was, when Ava won, I was like, no. I never want to have the HOH as my stock. What I want is to have someone the HOH is keeping safe. Mickey is looking good right now. I think she could still tank her numbers a little, but she's not going to go up. She's guaranteed at least a 3, if not an outright 4, even if she plays it a little poorly. I do wish I had went in on Rachel now a little bit, though. I'm not going to lie. I feel like that would have been the best move. And we nearly did it, too. Ob 6 brings back casinos. I think the casino will be there. Mickey's looking like she's on an upswing so far. Exactly. Exactly. Did you see Kat went in to hold Riley's hand? She told Ava she's a slow burn. Do you think you are maybe being hard on Riley? The Huskies seem to really see something special in the guy. I don't think I'm being too hard on him. Like, I'm not out here calling him like a misogynist or anything. Okay, one second. Like, I'm not out here like calling him names or anything. I just feel like for me, the brand of flirting that Riley has is off-putting to me. As someone who likes to keep it respectful, or like, be attentive if someone seems to be more of a slow burn. Like, it's the fact that he either doesn't recognize some of the signals that Kat's put out there, or just ignoring them. That's what I hate. Because Kat tells Ava she's a slow burn. We all knew she was a slow burn at best with Riley from like how early. And yet Riley didn't care about none of that. I'm like, I'm here to watch Big Brother. So when anyone's like, oh, I'm here to like give my game up for you. It's like, bro, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? So I don't think I'm being harsh on him. Am I being overly like, am I bringing him up a lot more and being like negative about him more? Yeah, of course. But it's because like this is not the type of player I would gel with regularly. And then you add in some of the like red flags that I've personally seen. But again, as if him and Kat leave and they're happy, who am I? Who am I? I'm nobody. I'm one person on the internet. So next question. Which couples from Love Island US 7 are actually real? What do you think of Nick and Alandria? I don't know. I think the realest couple right now, if I'm being very honest with you, is Pepe and Iris, in my opinion. And Ace and Shelly. I think you can lock those two up as real. Brian and Amaya, I think are also real, but I feel like I'm not really seeing them as often, which I don't think is a disconnect on their realness. Nick and Alandria, I don't know, but I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. Like, I hope they're all real. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. What did you think of Happy Gilmore 2? You know, I've not seen it yet. I have not watched Happy Gilmore 2 yet, Chad. Is that okay? Is that allowed? Is that allowed? Also, we are about 200 followers away from 10,000 followers on Twitch, which is not a goal we've ever looked into. I've never like targeted. I've never like said, follow me on Twitch so we get to 10,000. But it's very surreal that is a close number. That's something we're getting close to. The last 2 months has been very, very big. A lot of people have pulled up. 10K hour stream. Just retire everything else, Jordan? Is that what we're going to do? 12-hour stream to celebrate? Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but I'd be open to it. I'd be open to something. We'll see. Let me think about it. Okay? Okay, deal? Deal. What are Rob's biggest pet peeves for podcasters? I mean, how would I know unless he's actively said it somewhere? I'm just trying to think of anything I can think. I think Rob likes when there's synergy on a podcast, like when everyone is on the same page. I think it's a little bit hard if, like, let's say out of 4 people, 2 people are on the same page. Like, they're making jokes amongst each other, but not amongst the group. That can be tough. But it's not something like he's outright said to me. It's just a read I have. I think, yeah, I can tell you what Rob likes because I know what Rob likes. But like pet peeves, I don't know. If Keanu lasts long in the game, do you see a universe where he'll be fan favorite? I mean, he's already become an unironic stan option. You can unironically root for him to be ironic, but you're like, you know, you're rooting for him a little bit. I think so. Now that you've spent more time in Minneapolis, is there anything you don't like or wish was different? I mean, I already said this, but I wish some things were more accessible by walking, but that's just a product of who I've been the last decade, which is I walk everywhere. But it's not a deal breaker. The Patreon for 5 was great. Oh my God, I have not checked that out yet either. His pet peeve is underscores and Twitter handles. He does not like that, Liv. You're on point with that. I live when Rob laughs. To this day, chat, I'm closing in on 10 years of podcasting. Not yet, though. I'm closing on 10 years. To this day, nothing hits for me quite like when I make Rob laugh. When I know my joke got him to laugh, that hits like crack. I've never had crack, but I imagine it feels... it hits like a good meal. I've had good meals. I know what that feels like. It hits like a good meal, okay? Has Keanu tried professional wrestling because he gives me those vibes? He gave me a little bit of Austin vibes preseason. And I do not think that is an incorrect comparison for me as of right now, still. So, hits like Nutella. That's the one, sunshine. Rob Lawson on Q&A today. Tell me more. Have I gone to a soccer game? We've gone to a Minnesota FC game. We loved it. I've already got us tickets to go to another game also. Rob called Taryn Pooya and rest of his recap. What? When? Give me the timestamp. It's an endorphin night? It is. All right, next question. Can you rank the segments on BB tonight's BB Unlocked from your favorite to least favorite? Oh, dear God. Well, my least favorite was when Jerry O'Connell bribed Andrew the intern to give us the Riley and Catherine sucking face footage. I got added. I love when Robert throws a punter joke and it goes undetected and he's chuffed with himself. That's also a very underrated moment for me too. I love when he does that. So I'm moving my laptop a little bit to move my foot. They kissed on the thingy tonight. Yeah. On the unlocked. That's time-stamped? Okay, perfect. I don't think he said my name, you know. I think you heard my name. I don't think I heard my name. You heard it? I mean, listen, if you heard it, chat, we'll take it. We'll take it. I'm one of the awesome first Minnesota games September. I needed where to sit with us AFC people would be appreciated. So I've only the one game we went to, we went to the wall. We like sat in the wall. Which is not really sitting as a standing section, but it was very fun. What would he have said in that space instead, though? That's very fair. Was that on his mind? Was he? Do you think Rob thinks about me, chat? Question asker, thank you so much for your comment. Your end two words in your question were extremely thoughtful, and I'm saying that just so you know that it's your question I'm responding to. Thank you for that. I do appreciate it. I love hanging out in the pad. Thank you. And have very little criticism except for one tiny thing. I wish you wouldn't read through some of the comments so quickly because they're still not up on our screen, so we don't always understand you or know what you're talking about. I find myself trying to scroll back in the chat to figure out what you're reading. Not a huge deal by any means. A Pooya Friday is always better than just a regular Friday. Thank you so much. Yeah, I find that I sometimes, especially when I feel like I'm falling behind, I'll get in a habit of like trying to read them very quickly or like skim through and like still read enough of it that you know what it is in case you're not watching and you're like listening. But then sometimes I can go very speedy. This is true. This is fact. But I do appreciate that. I'm glad you still enjoy the Fridays all the same with me. A favorite Rob moment for me is when he was actually mad at all of you during a draft. Oh my God. I think it was the one where he threatened to end the podcast when everyone was kind of roasting him a little bit. We're just being pushy. Yeah, I'll effing shut this down. That's what it was. He didn't say effing. He said fucking. He fully dropped an F-bomb on us. He was ready to shut shit down. All right. They're very critical, so it sounds slow. I mean, I feel like, yeah, you're not wrong there, but also I do not disagree with the way it went, you know? Is there really a game based on power washing? I don't know if you know this, my kids mentioned it. There's a power washing simulator that exists where you can legitimately just power wash houses and stuff. It's real. It exists, and a lot of people enjoy it. It's the ASMR of it, I think. Was it 50 or was it 48? I can't recall. I think it was 50. No, I think it was 40. Which one was it? 48? Okay, yeah. Has anyone played House Flipper? I much prefer to Power Washing. I've heard of both. I've not played either. But Power Washing would be satisfying to me as well. I think the ASMR would be there. Asking because I don't personally watch feeds. Have Mickey and Morgan actually been homophobic? So disappointing if so. That was a big piece of contention this week with the comments from Mickey and people saying that it was like the faith-based thing was a knock against Jimmy. But also, I'll be honest, I wasn't tapped into feeds for like a good 3 days in the middle of this thing. Just FYI, if there's something you can do, camera seems to be focusing on the laptop instead of you. It's not bad, too bad though. I think it's also happening when I like specifically move a little bit. It'll like start refocusing. This camera, that's the one thing it does do, is the autofocus is a little bit whack compared to the camera upstairs. But as long as it's not too bad for now, it's fine. Because the alternative is I zoom it in onto my face. Seems better now? Okay, good. I think it's because I like shoved stuff around here. Why does it seem like every BB alumni and commentator, RHAP, YouTube creators, all seem to root for the same person? I understand why they all like Rachel, because she was a big personality 15 years ago and is connected to those circles, but everyone seems to be anti-Vince or Ashley, Ava, Amy, etc. equals mother, etc. Is it just because they're rooting for Rachel to win? You see someone like Turner, for example, post anything that isn't glazing Rachel and the fans just eviscerate him. You think that people would have different rooting interests, or are they just afraid of being iced out of the community for going against the grain, like how everyone seems to hate Derek? No, I think what it is think of it this way. I feel like for Rachel is big personality, right? So automatically she's coming in as she's going to bring us drama and bring things over. I think the other thing you need to think about with Ava, how many of us immediately, Ava's someone who just is a regular person. The interviews feel regular. She's being regular. I think the difference is, and like, for example, Keanu is like a delusional, but not in a like condescending / annoying way. I personally like making fun of Vince for doing all the glazing in the world. It's funny. But also, I think he's playing a very strong social game. I think the reason people are anti-Vince, or you see more anti-Vince sentiment, is because Vince will say shit like soft bullied. will like actively be like, these people were attacking me. And it's like, no, they were not, fam. Like, relax. I think it's stuff like that. But also, I think that what you'll realize is, more often than not, there's going to be like 5 people that people are very high on. And the more people you check, the more people have the same favorites. But I think this season's been interesting because I feel like a lot of people's favorites are shifting around this season. I think there was a lot of Mickey love the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Mickey is like one of the bottom 3 for a lot of people now, and has a lot of digging back up to do. I think the Derek thing, I feel like people don't like him for different reasons. I think some people don't like you can respect that he played a good game. I think that's not debatable. But I think the other part of it also is that it was a very boring, it's a boring game also, like it's like the most masterful way is also, it's like think of the best chef in the world, right? It's like, all right, yeah, they're making a 5-star meal, but are they going to toss an egg up and then crack it with the side of the spatula? Are they going to pop a shrimp in the pocket? Are they going to do hibachi style? No. The 5-star chef's going to do things clinically, and that's not as entertaining as watching someone go ham with a griddle, I don't hate Derek. I was the episode only watcher back then and enjoyed his season. Now I enjoy his True Crime podcast as well. He's a little douchey, but I still like him, says Amy. Gotta go back to Taryn loves Derek. Jen says people just tend to like the same people, but not because it's Rachel. Right. I mean, think of it this way. There were quite a few, like there's people that love Suri. So they're always you see Suri on something, you're going to root for Suri. I think when there's a returnee coming back to a show, more often than not, people are going to be high. If they like that person, they're going to be all in on that person. But then also, like I said, there's like 5 people that are like people are rooting for, because I think that go back to like BB27, right? It was like the Suri fandom, and then there was and Suri fandom was also like Suri fandom, Izzy fandom, and then there was the AmeriCorey fandom, and then there was another subsection which was the Cameron fandom, and like there's a lot of us that did not like Cameron, but there was also a lot of people that liked him. It also depends on what side of the internet you're on, because I think the side of the internet I'm on, I very rarely saw Cameron sentiment that was positive. But then didn't the man win AFP that year? Like, there was obviously enough sentiment there for him. Taylor was somebody we all kind of backed together because we saw what happened week 1. We saw how horrible all that was, and we did not want any part of that. And it was lovely to see her prevail ultimately. But as far as like, you specifically use the word mother here, and it's like, why is everyone like anti-Vince, and why is every Ashley, Ava, Amy mother? Because no one can father as good as someone can mother. No, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I think some people are more personality driven, and that's more fun. But also, how many people said Amy was mother? Because I may have missed the memo on that. I love how we all switch up throughout the season. Ashley. People have switched up on Ashley. People switched up on Mickey. Like, it's not been the same all the way through. It's like Boston Rob on Redemption Island. Rob always liked different house guests. He always likes the messy players like Keanu. Yeah, Rob's someone who's also likes Kelly. Like, Rob is like pro Kelly. Chappelle's anti Kelly. I have teeter-tottered with Kelly. I'm like, ugh, I'm over it. Or also like, just keep her. That's fine. My casual friend loves Kelly. There we go. I think Keanu, people were like some people were not into him first 2 weeks. Then now people are like there and ready for it. I think a lot of people like Vince. Agreed. I am people. I definitely... What? That quote is fictional. We have a mother quote. I just have to find it. All is fair in love and shade. Rob used to hate Bowie Jane and then loved Bowie Jane. Right. The duality of people. How do you feel about getting breaking news or social media events on stream? I felt bad that Kirsten learned about the Chelsea duo while she was live, but she handled it very well. I've seen that some streamers don't like learning breaking news like Celebrity Deaths or world events. So, 2 parts to answer this question. Part 1, I have mixed feelings about it. Like, for example, I found out that like Israel and Iran started popping off at each other because someone asked me how I was doing on stream, and I was not like privy to it before that. And that was a lot to like experience in the moment. I didn't know how to navigate it, and like I didn't know what to think. So that was a lot. But then to go back to the Kirsten part, we were streaming Peak when it happened. And I remember when someone in chat gave me the link, I opened it, and part of me was worried. Because if I opened it and the replies were like, yeah, no, fuck Kirsten, blah, 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 I would have had to we would have had to go overdrive to make sure our friend is okay. Because if I had seen that a big Brother player had talked about me, and then it's people just shitting on me in the replies, I don't know how I would handle it. So thankfully, it was overly positive responses from the community. People backing Kirsten, backing her take. And so that was nice, and I think that made things a lot easier. And it wasn't a problem for Kirsten. I don't know. I'm actually questioning myself if it's actually a quote, but Rob definitely canceled Mother for New Year's. Oh, I said that no one should ever say we should get rid of the phrase someone mothered or mothering. And then within 20 minutes into the new year, Rob had said something about mothering. You... Do you think it's fair for community members and former players to run with stuff like the Riley baby mama drama as factual without any evidence, without him being able to respond/defend himself? I feel like it's the nature of being like, there's 27 years worth of Big Brother now. So if you get on these shows, you should know what to expect. That being said, I mean, if it disproves, it disproves. But then I also don't know what you want me to say. Like, obviously a witch hunt is not good. But and you've not heard me talk about the baby mama of it all at all. But what you have heard me talk about is all the other stuff that I find negative. So, mother fitness is mother. What the fuck does that even mean? Mamacita. Yeah. So, especially when you're like the alumni. Well, the alumni, it's like friendly fire. Like they already have gone through it. They know what they're doing. But also, it's like you're putting stuff on the internet. The anticipation is that people are going to talk about it. You know, it's like people unearthed so much digital footprint on people to you know. Hey, Pooya, knowing that some bigger Twitch streamers, Ludwig, QT, Squeaks, are big Survivor fans and watch it weekly, have you ever reached out to them to collab on a stream or podcast? I have not, because I don't have motion like that. But like, it's so funny because like Ludwig, I don't know if he's like still watching it weekly, but him and QT Cinderella watch it weekly. They watch it every Wednesday. And it was very funny to get his takes on his stream. There's another streamer that you didn't mention, Will Neff. He is a big Survivor fan also, but he watches Australian Survivor exclusively. And he was watching them on stream for a little bit. And it was very fun watching him watch it. But yeah, no, him and QT and Ludwig, every week they watch it together. Because I remember once I asked in his chat, I'm like, did you watch the episode? He's like, no, QT couldn't watch it, so we're watching it later. But like he's like tweeted at Jake before Jake was his favorite in 45. But it's pretty cool. Worlds colliding, you know? We got to win a little so we can content a lot is a quote I still live by, chat. Have you shared the chat diss track yet? I have not. I'm afraid I missed it and I want to go back to the bottom. No, I haven't yet. I'm almost caught up with the I'm trying to catch up with the form. I'm caught up with the form now. There's one comment you chose not to read tonight. I think you know which one I'm referring to. Doesn't that illustrate the premise that some comments are acceptable to express in the community and others are not? Anyway, it's all love on my end. Just trying to enlighten you to what I believe a lot of people think and feel. Okay, so if you want to, if it's the, I did ignore one question in the form. If you would like for me to read it, I will. I have no problem doing so. If you're saying I skipped something in the chat, that just might be a product of there's been a lot of messages that I may have fallen through the cracks, but I'll go back to this one question. Wow, we answered quite a few questions since that one. Did I miss it? Where the fuck? I may have missed it. I may have passed it. I might have to go backwards again. Yep, I missed it for sure. Where is it? I love keeping my favorite gas station. That is not what we're talking about, my friend. Okay, I remember part of it, which is why I know what I'm looking for here. But sometimes I have told y'all that I do skip some questions if I either don't feel like I want to talk about it, or if I feel like it's not going to be like good vibes, or if it's inappropriate. That's kind of like the three things I might avoid. But since the theme of tonight has been a little bit more, we've been a little bit like willing to talk about deeper topics. I'm fine to read it out if you want me to read it out. Okay. So this is they referenced the person earlier. Hold up. Okay. All right. So they're referring to the person who brought up the RHAP. Like they give like a criticism. They were not wrong. RHAP is a tight-knit community, but it did change to where only certain points of view are acceptable. Just go back to the time frame mentioned and watch the Survivor drafts. Podcasters would draft someone last or not at all just based on researching their politics, and if they were anti-vax, they were very critical. So it silenced lots of viewers who hold any different hot button view. Again, I would like to echo what I said earlier in that I do not think that the views of the podcasters changed in that time span. I think it just started being an unavoidable topic. But also, I've personally, and I don't know if I've said this on pod before or anywhere before, I think that there are some things that happen in our world that people will put into a box and call it political when it's not. I do not think vaccines should be political at all. I'm very much a pro-vaccine person. So I find anti-vax rhetoric to be harmful and dangerous. So, of course, I'm not going to respond to that. But then the other part of it is I've never let anybody's opinions and viewpoints like that to impact my thoughts and analysis of them as a player. For example, I was never going to pick Jonathan for either Survivor 50 draft or 42. I didn't think he would win as a player. Simple as. I ended up landing, I don't remember what her name was, in 42 draft. And I was actually I got like a steal of a pick at 18. But I've never picked anybody on my team that I've not wanted to A, root for, or B, think is a winner candidate. Because there's no point for me to pick someone who I don't think fulfills either of those things. So if I don't think you're a winner, but I don't vibe with you, I ain't going to pick you. So I think what happens is some of these people... Yeah, Tori was the one I landed at the end of the draft. I think, yes, some of these people, some of these players will have like views or opinions or politics that I don't recall any of those podcasts where we were like, well, yeah, I'm not picking this person because of their politics. Like that doesn't come up in the draft. But then when you look and see their politics, you're like, well, they didn't pick them. I wonder why. And I think that's what happens, which I think is misguided, honestly. But also, I think part of it is you might not be picking them because you don't think they're going to win. The podcast is pick who you think is going to win or isn't the grenade. You know what I mean? But I do think it's bad faith to just be like, yeah, no, things changed where now certain views are allowed. They're not. I think the world evolved and RHAP evolved with it. / like, you know, again... I think I've already spoken about this extensively. I don't think there's anything new I'm saying to what I said earlier, but I don't see it as a things changed. I think the world moved forward together instead of staying in the past a little bit. So... Remember all the stuff going around pre-BB24 draft about Turner and family issues? It ended up being nothing, I believe. You just never know what to believe, what's real in social media. Exactly. And like people were, you know, we covered that. We were watching that casket dropped out, you know? We watched it come, like, we watched the whole, like, oh, his sister said this, and the Mr. Beast stuff. And like, Ginger, thank you for the 12 months with your Prime. Appreciate you. Hope you have enjoyed this year with us. Welcome back in. What was I saying? I blanked for a hot second there. I blanked. Oh, yeah, the Turner thing. Yeah, and like we were talking about it, and then it turned out to be not a thing. And what happened? We moved on from it. I think that there are people that will learn that something was wrong and then drop it. What's wrong is if we find out something was wrong and people still talk about it like that was what happened because they did not learn or keep updated about it, you know? All right, I hope you're happy I answered your question now, even though I genuinely don't think I said anything new to what I was saying before, and I assume that's the one. What other BB alumni would you like to see on the recaps? How do they figure out who to have on, i.e. Chelsea, Boji, and Brittany? I don't know how they determine it. I don't know if it's like they get reached out to for some, and some they reach out for. I know some they reach out for. Probably that's how it is. It's like half and half. Who would I like to see on the recap? You can never go wrong with a Felicia Cannon. So give me Felicia, please and thank you. A dream would be to get Suri to talk about Big Brother. I don't know if she wants to, but just in that same sentence, give me Izzy. Why has Izzy not been on yet? Unless Izzy doesn't want to watch or is taking a break or doesn't want to come on a pod. Any of those things are acceptable and allowed. I mean, selfishly, always want to hear from Kaser regardless. I think Enzo could be a fun pod guest. Could be funny. Kevin Jacobs. Why is Kevin Jacobs not on? He could be fun. I'm never going to say no to Taylor. You already know this. Claire. Claire is a 10 out of 10 guest always. Please and thank you. It's funny. I feel like sometimes that Liana is my Derek X to Claire's me, as in Derek X is like involved with this realm, but not as closely as Claire. And I feel like it's the same with me and Liana now, where I'm like tapped into the Big Brother stuff and everything, and Liana's like a little tapped in, but not coming on the podcast type shit. Yeah, those I'll get. That's my couple. That's my couple. Thank you, Jen. Yeah, we've not made picks on that. I think it just so happens to be that, later it's like, and they were like this. I wonder why they didn't get picked. I think there's a flip side to this, which is that when some groups were being targeted, Rob spoke out, but he didn't put down others. He never said fuck this person, fuck this subculture, fuck this group. He just elevated some voices that were being suppressed and were being targeted. And I think some people took it as, and this is the sad reality, is I think some people genuinely felt like it was an attack on them because he spoke out about others. But he never said, I'm speaking out for these people, meaning these people now do not matter at all, you know? That's fair, Jordan. Did you hear Brittany talk about Kaser on the cruise? I did. It was so good. I don't think anything interesting been happening on feeds. I feel like we would have heard about it because there's 150 of you in here. I know somebody got that quad cam going in camera in monitor number 2. You know what I mean? Favorite BB season / house guest. Favorite BB season 6. Favorite house guest. Jeez. I don't know. That's a hard question. Favorite Survivor season / house guest. You said house guest for Survivor season also. What's funny is I think I can give you the Survivor one a lot easier. Well, my favorite winner is Jeremy. Favorite season is 31. I think it's still 31. Second Chances. I have a very soft spot for. Obviously, the other one would be Heroes vs. Villains, but I like to say Second Chances because it feels a little more unique. And then, did you start with Big Brother or Survivor? Survivor was the one I started with, actually. But then Big Brother is what brought me back. I'd watched a couple of seasons of Survivor, but Big Brother is what brought me into the RHAP universe and brought me back to Survivor also. Elevating other people's voices, not an attack on others. Exactly. I've got the quiet game going, but it's muted. Gotcha. Last I saw, Keanu said he could use the veto on Vince. Okay. Keanu saying Vince, he'd throw the veto to him. Ugh, why is this jackass? Oh my God. Okay, yeah. So the person copy pasted. So I did answer it now. I hope. Yeah, there we go. When Taryn does his reenactments on the morning update, have you ever talked about playing a role rather than him doing all the roles, like when he recounts a conversation? Oh, what? Like we're doing a script read? No, I've never asked for that. Mainly because I don't want to do that. If that makes sense. I don't think. Like, I think I can do my specific impressions when I see fit. I don't like doing a complete reenactment. That's not for me at all. I like to just give my opinions after the reenactment, if that makes sense. Next question. Have you watched the new season of South Park? Thoughts? I've watched the first episode so far. I have not watched the rest yet, but it's quintessential South Park. Unlocked any good? Brew, throw it on 1.5 speed, maybe 2, you should be okay. Riley ranted about Ava. I hope Ava hears that shit. And to catch up with the form, do you have a favorite Big Brother house theme? Like, personally, Season 8's Alice in Wonderland themed house was my favorite. That's a good one. That's a really good one. I actually really like this season's theme. I think this season theme is up there for me. Yeah. And also, just to answer the last part of that person's question, that like you said, I didn't read the question, and that's kind of proof of like some opinions matter more than others. They don't. I like I said, I would like to think, and you know, you can say I'm incorrect or you might not agree, and that's fine. I would like to think that I have presented to you tonight that I'm willing to have conversations that maybe some other people would shut down immediately. And it's going to be very clear what my opinion is, but I'm not going to hound you for having yours. But then if you keep trying to tell me that I am wrong, then that's where we're going to have to like part ways, if that makes sense. But I feel like Wizard was very kind, came in, gave their honest opinion, which would have been difficult to do in front of an audience. We spoke. They said love. We said love. They're doing their thing, you know? Although Taryn loves his acting moments, he's gotten better at them as they go along. Can we get your impersonations? I'd need to be louder for some of them. I have a good Gino from 90 Day. Obviously, you've heard me do Kermit the Frog. Yeah, I don't have a... Like, the thing is, I like... The thing is with impressions for me, I don't like to do them unless I feel like I'm going to nail it, you know? And that includes knowing the cadence. I think it was petrifying last week when Taryn could do Riley as good as he did. And then today with Vince, he kind of nailed it also. And that's always a sign of two things. One, Taryn's really getting better at this. And two, yikes, Taryn, it's a little too good. You need to stop. You need to stop being this good at it. Jen, have a good night. Take care. Have a good one. Sometimes I can have a difference in opinion over my morals. That's fair. Like, I'm not saying you should agree with me at all. But then if that's not the content for you, that's not the content for you. Like, again, there's infinite amount of streams out there, content creators out there. I would like to think I am a fun source of entertainment and good vibes. But if I'm not for you, I completely understand. You can't be everyone's cup of coffee, you know? And in the words of the great poet Amaya, if I'm not your drink, then you shouldn't drink it. Something to that effect. You know what I mean. Did you do that one time where you and Liana were playing that Survivor duo? Oh, yeah, Ferris. Yeah, I did it, but without an accent. And I couldn't do an Australian accent to save my life. I just got into character. All right, I think I've caught up with the forum chat. So let me say last call on the forum. If you want to submit any last questions, feel free to do so. Otherwise, we will vault it and open it again next week. Same time, same place. Ugh. Damn, who knew sitting on a couch would be uncomfortable? I'm not uncomfortable, but like, it's weird. So Sunday, we got Goose Goose at 5 p.m. Eastern. So 4 p.m. my time, 5 p.m. Eastern, and 2 p.m. Pacific. And then after that, it'll get interesting. So Monday, I'm trying to do my 90-day pod Mondays. I have one less thing to do middle of the week. Tuesday, we do the PAL, and then we got Peak later. So Wednesday's looking like the next time we can do GTRP. That's the plan. Sorry, did I say Tuesday? I said Wednesday is what I meant. And then Thursday, obviously, we got bingo. So that's kind of where we're headed with the stream content right now. 3 p.m. Mountain Time. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Do you know / can you say if you're going to pod for Survivor AU? Yes, the exact same makeup you had last season with me, Chappelle, Mike joining Shannon on a rotation. That's happening again this season. And you're going to hear from me at least twice in the next week on AU content that has been recorded, just hasn't been put out there. Of the current noms and possible renoms, who are you most hoping will be evicted? Not going to lie, I do not want Vince or Keanu to go this week. Like, I do not want either out this week. Ideally for me, we lose... I don't think we lose Riley. Zach's obviously going to be safe. So if we lose a Lauren, I would feel okay with it. I feel like Lauren would be a relatively inconsequential exit. I feel like I've not really gotten a lot from Lauren. So I'd be okay with that. But also, if Catherine somehow ends up on the block and Riley feels rattled, that could also be fun. But I do not want I don't want Vince to go. Vince has been good drama, also because so many people are looking at him, and I think Keanu is good drama. So Zach would be my ideal, but the man has a fucking get out of jail free card. So, no, I appreciate it, Ginge. None of the stock watch this week. I am not. Maybe you guys already talked about this, but have you seen the lady on TikTok who fell in love with her psychiatrist? It's wild, but I can't stop watching. I have not. I saved a TikTok of hers that I saw, and that made me be like, I'll watch it later, but I've not checked it out. Oh, Morgan leaving would also be okay for me, I think. Maybe, and this is maybe just me being petty. Not petty. What's the word? Messy? Hateful? Is it hateful that I think after how much she's talked about the wall comp, it would kind of be funny if she didn't make it to the wall comp? It's petty. I don't know why I'm doing that. Like, she wants to be on the wall comp. Let her get the wall comp, you know? You prefer the round table name? Is it not still called the round table anyway? It is the round table. We just call it the stock watch because stocks. It's wild. Yeah, I've heard there's like 18 parts of it. I heard Kirsten talking about it on something. I don't remember what though. Oh, was it Asia talking about it? Or was it... you know what? Both of them have talked about it. That's what it is. Who said Morgan is your coworker? Quinn, maybe? I mean, a fellow colleague, yes. We both work for the same company. Twitch. Petty, not hateful? Okay, petty. But yeah, I let her be in the wall comp. Let her be in the wall comp. Kind of feel bad for the lady because she's obviously going through a mental episode, and it's all on the internet. That's the scary thing with nowadays. You need to watch the TikToks on React on stream. Was that something you're into? Obviously not right now, not tonight, but that's something we could put. How long is it though? Isn't it going to be like 45 minutes to an hour? Her ChatGPT's not calling her the Oracle. Oh my god. Am I up on the Janae and Kenny drama? Last I saw, did he post that YouTube video? I haven't heard anything new since last week, May, basically. If I'm being honest. So, yeah. Alright, chat. And with that, I think we can lock the comments. Not the comments, but the form. For now, we got through like 30-something questions tonight. So, shout out to y'all. You really pulled up to the stream tonight. Just gonna see if there's anything in the old feedback form also while we're here. No, feedback form's the same. Okay, cool. Anything in the lounge form? Lounge form chat? So YouTube covered and the video was like an hour and a half. Oh my god. Yeah, see, that's no joke right there. Quick impromptu wall comp ranking. Oh my god, you know what's funny? Earlier, one of you put the T emote in the chat, and I was like, that's a cool emote. Whose emote is that? It's my emote. They didn't recognize it. I think Will falls first. I feel like that's not a hot take. 3 hours, well, and we didn't even play space racing balls. Right. Jolene had Angela on pod this week. 3.5 hours is amazing. Wow. Someone said Riley could win, but I hope he's too tall. I feel like Riley does have a good build for it, actually. I think it's one to skip for a stream personally because it does seem like she's crashing out, but you should watch on your own and process for sure. Okay. I'll do that. I'll talk with Liana about it. And watch it with her. You know, no new questions in the form in the PAL form either. But yeah, chat. Make sure you check out the PAL if you haven't. We have a good time with it. I feel like it's a bit of you. You might enjoy it. All right. I'm getting a little sleepy, which makes sense because I've been awake since 10, and I went to bed at 5. So I've been up for 15 hours, off 4 hours of sleep. In the last, I don't know, I'm not doing math right now. What the fuck are we doing here? Hey, no problem, everybody. Hope you had fun. Get some lesson 2s in one for the one time before we leave. I think it depends where / what the handholds are for the wall. Honestly, Someone needs to tell Adrian he should make a Twitch account or YouTube, whatever, and he should go live the minute the wall comp would happen, which is what, like, let's say 9, 10, or whatever time it is, and just do the wall comp alongside them. I will watch it offline. I think that's a good bit of advice from Mandy. I agree. So we can do that. Let me make some math real quick. No, we ain't doing fucking math. We ain't fucking with the math right now. That's what we're not gonna do. Hold up. Hold up. I think I know exactly where I want us to go. Hit you with a bit of a hit you with a bit of a throwback, chat. How about we go and say hello to our friend of the stream, the one and only, the incredible, the never replicated T-Pain. How about we go over to the T-Pain, huh? How about that? My shit's lagging, or my computer's lagging a little bit. It's acting up a little bit. Let's see, does this work? Okay, it says ready to raid T-Pain. Does that work? T-Pain the rapper? You mean my colleague? Yes. Okay. Dear Lord. Sorry, chat. I'm just trying to make sure everything looks good. Okay. It is. Okay, good. Looks like we're about ready to leave on the raid. Throw some less than twos in. You already know the vibes, chat. Appreciate you. Y'all take care. Have a good one.